Guys, we are live. Sorry, we're a little bit late. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, and we are ready to roll now. We are so excited. We have comedian, actor Matt Walsh, Bears fan, grew up in Illinois. He's going to come on the show and join us in just a minute, along with a very special man named Fireman Pete, who is the entire reason why this has even happened. So, guys, how are you doing tonight?
Awesome, man. I'm excited. A little upset with the game from last week, but watched 22 on it, so just got to let it go, and they got to work on a lot of things still, all the way around, the coaches, the players, everybody, man. A lot to do.
My Monday was ruined. I know that much. It was completely ruined. PJ, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay.
I'm doing okay.
I'm hearing like an echo or something.
Are you? I don't hear it on my end. Let me see.
It could have been brief because for some reason my volume that I had everything down on went up.
Is that better now? Is it sound any better now? No. Blah 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 blah.
It's like going to repeating because I'm
Really?
hearing you, then I'm hearing you say the same thing 5 seconds later.
Oh, that's weird. Go to your edit mic settings on your screen there, little 3 dots, and see if you can fix it.
Okay.
Do you see that? Here we are working out technical difficulties.
Yeah, right.
We're freaking.
Now
as we go live, now you say this?
It just started though.
Of course it did. That's what's supposed to happen in a night like this. Yeah. Well, fuck this cold open. You guys ruined it, man. I mean, come on. Let's just kick this shit off, Walt.
Some dancing.
Bears country. Where is it? You down with BCP?
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 Stuff, dude.
How's the step up and step down doing?
That's pretty funky there, brother.
It was something.
You just need some bell bottoms and some longer hair, maybe a fro, and you could be back in 72.
I've given you these. I've given you these. I've given you these. I just can't make you guys happy.
And nobody wants any of them, man.
None of them.
So quit giving so much. There's so few.
One of these days, I am going to get this right. You guys are going to be like, that's the dance. I'm telling you, it's going to happen one of these days.
I keep telling them, Pete, I don't know if we got that much time left there, brother.
Man. Rhythm and Sciorty does not go along.
Oh, wow. There's a no relations foster who says that it's awesome or something, man. I just awesome dancer.
It's only because I'm pushing 50, man. I used to be able to dance really well in my 20s.
Okay. This is how we do it.
Why do people deceive themselves?
Put up what Kitty said, and that says it all.
This is what I have to
What? We're okay, Pete, because we only got to deal with it for like a minute a week. So we got it made, brother. We got it made.
He said it all.
Thanks, Kitty, for putting that in perspective. I really appreciate her perspective on that.
Well, looks like I'm moving in with Aldo. How you doing, Kitty? I have a spare bedroom.
Dungeon down there for you.
Look, John Cooper's backing it up. He went to high school with me. He knows I could dance in the 90s.
Yeah, that was about 3 decades ago, bro.
I think John might have been a little high in those few years in the 90s.
He has He has a
threw him
time
under the bus.
lapse
I don't know if
going
we're
on.
making it up.
Well, guys,
Just don't give him so much confidence.
enough of my amazing dancing. Let's everybody is excited because this is a big show tonight, and I cannot wait to get into it. First off, let's bring on our first guest, Fireman Pete. Fireman
Fireman Pete.
How's it going? What are you guys doing? What's happening?
We're just trying to learn to dance over here.
Don't come to me for that kind of help.
Well, there's some of us who are learning how to dance, while there's others who's watching someone learning how to
Yes.
dance.
And those people watching are just having mental breakdowns weekly.
Yeah, these glasses I got on, they're actually opaque. I was told not to see anything that was happening.
Smart man. Smart man.
Fireman Pete comes through again.
Man, I'm telling you, smart man.
Mark,
Fireman Pete, I wanted to bring you on first to thank you so much for making this possible. Just through contacts that Kitty Cat here, my wife, has just in the film industry, and being able to get in touch with you, with being friends with Matt. I wanted to bring you on first and thank you very much for making this night possible. Thank you.
No problem at all. Anything to help out a fellow Bear fan.
All right.
And I knew once Matt agreed to do it, I had to bring you on too. We had to get Fireman Pete on the show. We can talk about more of that later.
We'll see if you still think that after the show.
Guys, should we get the drum roll ready? For Mr. Matt Walsh.
Hey,
hey.
can't believe I finally made it.
Hey.
It's a big get. I love it. I'm honored to be on the show.
Well,
Walsh,
thank you for coming, man. Thank you.
I
Much
appreciate it.
appreciated. Much.
We're
Very
honored
much.
to have you.
I'm psyched to be on Bears Country, man. Big fan.
Cool.
Wait, since we have you both here, I want to add you guys to the opener. Can I get each one of you to say separately, you down with BCP? Go ahead first, Fireman.
You down with BCP?
Walshy, go.
You down with BCP?
Yes. Thank you,
Man.
guys.
Yeah, you know me.
I didn't know I could gesture.
One take. I can't believe you got Fireman Pete to come out of hiding. He's got a lot of problems with law officials.
No, listen, I'm kind of in disguise right now because I'm calling it from an undisclosed location, and I may or may not be at work right now.
So I've known Fireman Pete forever. He's a diehard Bear fan, like myself. He's king of the South End Zone, but he's considered a terrorist by some teams that we have played, and specifically the Green Bay Packers nemesis. He has pulled pranks. He's climbed into locker rooms. He's let scorpions out on team buses who are playing us. Tell him.
They were not scorpions. They were spiders. There's a
Okay.
difference. And most people don't mind a few 100,000 spiders. I don't know. I was told it broke concentration a little bit, and we did win that week, as I recall.
Yeah, you're definitely the 12th man on the field, I'd like to say.
What type of spiders were they?
Well, half of them were tarantulas, and half of them were brown recluse that I've been growing for the last 15 years in my shed.
Oh, so they were big ones.
Well, the tarantulas were big and kind of hairy, but the recluse they're less noticeable, especially when they're inside like a helmet lining. You don't see them.
So why didn't you release them for this past game?
Well, I didn't think we would need them. I had a backup plan. A friend of mine works over at Rush Presbyterian St. Luke's in the COVID ward, and I've been collecting COVID air from some of the patients. I've asking people to blow up balloons and saved, and not all of them had the lung power to fill up a balloon, but the ones who could. And I was going to send a bouquet of COVID balloons to the Packers locker room and then pop them inside the locker room. But there were some hitches in the plan.
Man, well, you got to start working on that for that next game. Can you get him up to Green Bay?
Yeah, but I kind of cover that one. No one's going to accept COVID balloons now.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Pats out of the bag.
Yeah, you got to find out what Jordan Love's allergic to. Like put peanuts in his food or something, man. That guy killed us.
I know what he's allergic to.
What?
Pressure.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Defensive line pressure. Pete can't. Pete's got to do some gerrymandering. He's got to work around the rules, like shorten the. Like you've deflated footballs before, Pete. I know you've tried that.
And overinflated them.
Overinflated them, yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, it was a football that was like 3 times the normal size, and he couldn't even handle the snap. That was several years ago. But, well, we got how many weeks? They don't have the Packers again until, what, December or something?
Week
Final
18.
game.
Last game.
Final
Okay,
game.
we'll have something special for Jordan Love if he's even available.
Right.
I'm glad we've got like the 12th man here, whether he's on the field or literally under the bus with the spiders, whatever it takes. Thanks,
Yeah.
Pete.
I'm just saying. Yes.
Yeah, we one time we put the Pittsburgh Steelers were in town, and we put longer spikes on the front of their shoes than on the back, so they would feel like they were running uphill the whole game, and that helped.
Tired him out.
Yeah,
It was very effective.
Very
that was a
effective.
win.
I feel like you put itching powder in one of the kickers of the Cincinnati Bengals once. That helped us win a game.
Yeah, just on his left nut. Because
Yeah.
it made him hook everything to the right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he had a swollen testicle for 2 weeks. I remember that.
You know what? It's a rough sport. That happens.
I remember hearing about that swollen testicle. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you put
Yeah.
stick 'em on his hands too?
It was all over
Yeah.
the back page.
Wasn't it? I was a Sports Illustrated cover story. I think that testicle.
Yeah. He's also good with any kind of HVAC, terrorism. He's cut the wires on the AC in the visiting locker room during a hot game.
Uh-huh.
And turn the heat way up and then tape the windows closed. He's done that to make guys extra sweaty and dehydrated.
Well, Matt actually tipped me off about this years ago because he reminded me that as a fireman, I can go in and inspect any facility in the country at any time.
Right.
So I have full access to scoreboards and locker rooms and food supplies and everything. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna need you in Florida come Sunday.
Yeah.
You can come down here. I'm in Florida. You can come get down here tomorrow, and you can stay here. We'll do some shit this weekend at Tampa Bay. I'm actually going to the game, so I'll get you in with me. I can sneak you in my my clear plastic bag that I'm allowed to bring in.
Does it have holes in it for me to breathe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody will see you in it, but the lid's open. You can breathe out the top.
No, we want you to suffocate just a little bit. That's all.
Well,
There's your out, Pete. You just make Sciorty the fall guy. Anything happens, you're covered.
And Pete, I'm sorry to get off topic here, but how's the home life? Like you have a pretty tumultuous home situation. Are things okay or no fire? Crazy?
Yeah. My wife Brutella is a little mad at me because
She's always mad, but yeah.
she just has these ethics about me helping the Bears and me watching the Bears, and I don't know. There could be a sixth marriage in it for me one of these days. I don't want to.
Well, you go on the road for weeks at a time during season. It's a hard man to be married to.
Well, I teach on how to put out specific fires. We were in Kansas City for a week and a half at the Ritz-Carlton there on the city's dime, by the way.
Nice.
Teaching
Nice.
people how to put out fires that were caused by smoldering cigar butts.
And a dry rub fire, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dry
Railroad
rub.
fires are hard to contain.
Yeah,
dry
people
rub.
don't know that shit's it's flammable.
Oh yeah, paprika goes up like gunpowder.
Flour, it'll blow back.
Flour, whatever's in there, yeah.
Very dangerous. Very
That friction, huh?
Probably made a quick stop at the Arrowhead Stadium and put a little tiny bear trap at the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
Or
They're going to have a little surprise on Sunday. Mahomes is, but I try to stay away from non-Bear games, but old habits die hard, you know.
You know, I don't even know if we face the Chiefs this year. Probably not.
I don't think.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
we do.
Only in
We
the
do?
third game.
Week
Week
3.
3.
Oh, we
Week
do.
3, We
Yeah.
got him next week. That
No, you
ball
were-
is supposed to be in England or Germany.
If he twisted an ankle at home, it wouldn't hurt us.
See, yeah, no, they're not playing. Nobody knows we're playing the Chiefs this
Things-
year.
Hold
Things
on.
happen.
Low ankle sprain, no career stuff, just a low ankle sprain.
Even if he did sprain his ankle, he would still be okay because we're not going to pressure him anyway.
Oh,
Comes up a lot with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
yeah.
Well, we
Reality.
might have to work on those offensive linemen a little bit. You don't always go for the superstars, you know.
I'd love you to work on a virtual reality projector that gave us like a 6th down lineman that they have to scheme for when they come up to the line.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a great idea.
Then they're playing guys that ain't there. That's our only chance because we got no rush.
I had an inflatable guy that was attached to one of our guys, so they would count him, and then you deflate him before the play starts. But
Okay.
then there's the added problem of having a referee distracted, so he
Yeah.
doesn't count him as a 12th man, throw the flag on him.
Right.
Also, there's instant replay these days. That'd be hard to get away with.
Wouldn't there be the problem of tripping over the deflated extra man as he was attached to your side?
Just slip them hallucinogenics. Slip all the offensive linemen of the opposing team hallucinogenics.
There's an idea.
Put in their Gatorade.
There you go.
Old school, back. Go back. There you go. Right
You'd
in their
be
Gatorade.
surprised what you could sneak inside of an orange in a locker room.
Yeah, orange. That's a great way to go. It's a great delivery device. I love that idea.
You'd be surprised if you can sneak inside of an egg. An
Yeah.
egg's a good idea too. Yeah.
Yeah, those are old psychic tricks. Those are old mediums. Mediums use those tricks. They open up an egg and there's a hair in it. Once you know the trick, sky's
Right.
the limit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Matt, I would just want to thank you so much for agreeing to do this. I mean, let me give you the reason how this came to be. So, 2003, I believe it was 2003. You had it was the year that Old School came out, and you were with Horatio Sands. I believe it was a Vikings game. It was like October. We weren't wearing coats. It was just cool enough to wear, like a long sleeve shirt or a hoodie or something. A hoodie, not a putty. And the Bears won, and I had bought this black Bears hat, and because I thought I'd never seen this hat before ever. And the Bears won, and we were walking across the street. We were walking to the train station, and we were going to. We stopped at Kitty O'Shea's because we had like an hour and a half to kill, right across the street on Michigan. You know where that's at, right?
The Conrad Hilton, right?
Yeah. So my cousin and I are in line to go to the bathroom, and out comes walking Horatio Sands. And we were all lit from that game, and we had just won, so we were super stoked. So I grabbed Horatio Sands by his collar like this, and I started shaking him. I'm like, "It's fucking Horatio Sands! It's fucking in!" Like Horatio Sands is going like, you know how he is, right? So, the look on his face was like excitement, like, "Yeah, this guy's okay. Like, I'm not scared of this guy, but And so I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, "It's just awesome to see you." So then. Went to the bathroom. I washed my hands. Okay. So then we came back, and we have like an hour to kill, and I see Horatio sitting at the table. I'm like, I have got to go over and apologize to him. And he's sitting there with you at the table. So my cousin and I walk over, and we just start talking to you and Horatio. And of course, I'm a huge SNL fan, and I was just enamored with Horatio Sands. And you turn to me and you go, "Do you know who I am?" And I go, no. And you go, I was in old school? And I'm like, and you're like, I was at the meeting, like with the tickets. And I remember I wanted to come back later and be a part of the fraternity. And I was, oh yeah. And you were like, yeah, okay, cool. And I felt like such an asshole because I didn't know who you were. And here we are, 20 years later, and like I absolutely fucking love you. You've been in so many things like Veep. My wife and I have watched Veep from start to finish 3 times, and we'll do it again because you always find something new and funny within that show to die laughing at. And your character in that show is absolutely hilarious. So anyway, we're hanging out for like an hour and a half and talking. I ended up calling my wife at the time. My current wife is my second wife. I called my wife at the time, and I was like, look, I'm hanging out with Horatio Sands and Matt Walsh, and I gave Horatio the phone, and he was talking to my wife for a minute. Then we ended up like talking for so long, we missed our train, and we had to like wait for the next train. So we were hanging out with you for like another hour and a half or more. And I ended up calling my wife again, telling her that we missed the train. And then I gave Horatio the phone. He talked to her, and then he gave you the phone, and you talked to my wife. And you're like, everyone was having fun with it. And then we ended up hanging out for like a total of like 2.5, 3 hours that night. And then finally we had to leave to go catch our train home. And from that day forward, I've always wondered, like, I wondered if I ever ran into either one of them again, if they would remember me.
Yeah.
And my wife's been in the film industry my current wife has been in the film industry for 25 years. And we've been married for 10 and together for 5 more before that. So I was like, I was waiting. Like I kept checking to see, like, is Matt in this movie? Because I might be able to like run into him to see if he remembers me. Right.
Yeah.
Run a movie that I got to like, that I knew that she worked with you on. But so then I'm like, we have all kinds of fans that come on this show. We've had, journalists, we've had mostly fans from chat that come on the show. I thought it would be amazing if I could. She was talking to her boss one day, and I was like, oh, ask him if he knows Matt Walsh. And she just happened to be in a meeting with another woman that knows Fireman, that knows, it was like, I know this person that knows this person that knows this person that knows this person. And the probability of this happening was so minute. I can't believe that this is happening. So thank you so fucking much for coming on and doing this with us, man. And I have to know, do you remember that night?
I do, and I appreciate you painting in the details. I'm sure there was a lot of drinking going on, but I do remember that night. And yes, that's a real connection. Yeah, I do remember that. Kind of stuck at the bar and talking to the wife. Yeah. That's a real connection.
Shorty, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Was Matt's conversation with your first wife in any way responsible for the end of that marriage?
It might have been, yeah. It might have been.
I'll just say Horatio talked to her too, so there's plausible deniability there.
Talk to him.
He might have had something to do with it too.
It had to be Horatio. Yeah.
Matt has that whole encounter filed under stalker.
No, I think that was a lively evening because we did win, and I do remember that. Yeah, I don't know why I'm sure I came in with Raj to see the Bears game. Like in 2003, I was living in New York, so we probably flew out from New York and scored some tickets. I don't know, whatever. But
I wasn't sure if, like, okay, either he's been to so many games, and obviously you've met so many people over your life that why would you remember, this? But like, it depends on how many games you've been to as well. So if you've only been to like 3 games, well, maybe in your entire lifetime, maybe you'd be like, yeah, I definitely remember that. But of course, you haven't been to just 3 games. You've been to probably dozens and dozens of games, like I have myself, but that's the one that's always stuck out for me. It's like I'll never forget it. I've told that story the same way like 500 times.
No, that's a real connection. That's really cool. That is like worlds colliding, and then like randomly having your wife ask somebody, you don't happen to, because we would run into each other at a premiere or something, I'm sure, or
right
maybe
or a rap party
Bears game, quite honestly.
Yeah. And what was interesting is she was talking to her. I just thought she was talking to her boss, but she was in a three-way conversation, and it just so happened to be that the other person knows Fireman Pete over here, and Fireman, thank you for making that happen, and Matt Walshy, thank you for coming on here, because I could imagine what must have been going through your head, like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my ex-wife, who coincidentally, as you say, was no stranger to three ways herself.
Was that your fourth or fifth wife, Pete?
Wait a second, I gotta count it.
7.
Brucella is
Four.
The most big boobs?
I think she was 4. It depends. There's one. I don't always count number 5, so.
all right.
I don't know.
That was a Vegas wedding. I went to that one. You were married by Elvis with a Bears hat on. I remember that.
I don't know. It didn't stick. It didn't really stick. Yeah.
Do you still talk to Horatio, Matt?
Yeah, he lives in LA and he's a good friend. We go hiking and yeah, I do. He's
Next time you talk to him, please ask him if he remembers that night with me. He has to remember it coming out of the bathroom and me like shaking the shit out of him. Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
I would love to know.
I do see him. I will bring it up. Yeah, he'll remember it, but I will.
That'd be
How
cool.
do you
Thank you.
forget that?
Yeah. He was just like,
I'm sure he remembers.
Yeah, and that's like a
Don't know
lot.
if you want to know that, Dan, that he does remember. There might be a lost.
Yeah. And after a Bears game, that's a loud establishment. I'm sure like it was a lot of chaos happening all around us.
Yeah, it was.
You were
And here-
drinking Malort that night, weren't you?
It was a lot of beer, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Here's another small world thing. My high school football coach is Mike Dunn, who is Kevin Dunn's brother and Nora Dunn's brother.
That's really small world. Where did you go to high school again?
Round Lake Senior High School.
Round Lake. That's right. Yeah. Well, Kevin is a real Bear fan too. So when I was on Veep, Kevin and I would watch the games together, and he would talk to his brother because Kevin played, I think, Division III for 1 year, college. He was like a linebacker, and then he got hurt once, and he's like, "What the fuck am I doing?" And he quit, or he got out. You know, there's just guys are bigger and faster at that level, even Division III. So he's like, "I'm out." And but he would talk about his brother, and that he's like that's a real football family. They're obsessed.
Yeah. I mean, Mike was. I remember I got up in his face one time. We had a hill. We had a Walter Payton hill at our practice field, and I got up in his face one time during a linebacker drill because he was being such a dick, and he made me run that hill like the rest of the day. And we all, like in high school, we were like, hey, "Can you believe Nora Dunn's his sister? She's on SNL." And then we see Kevin, and one of the first I forget one of the first things we saw him in, like not Airplane, but it was one of those parody movies, and it was like, "Oh my God, his brother's in this. This is so cool." So it's just a small world that you have been working with him on Veep and probably plenty of other things. I'm sure you knew him well before that.
I never knew Kevin before Veep, but it is a small world, like especially Chicago. There's a real Chicago DNA in Veep. Gary Cole is a Chicago guy. Tim Simons, also a Bear fan, Chicago guy. Anna Klumsky, Oak Park kid. Julia did time in Chicago at Northwestern. So there was like a lot of Chicago stuff, and definitely the guys, we would watch Bear games every weekend. It was fun.
Yeah, man. I'm sure you're still watching them, right? You got the YouTube subscription now?
I did. It got so crazy last year with all the platforms and stuff. I said, screw it. And I canceled Dish or whatever I had for the package. And then I was going to go to sports bars and stuff to watch it. But you do suffer. Like it is, they have you by the balls. Like I bought it. I bought the YouTube TV, and my wife's like, we already have ESPN. We already have Disney, Hulu. We're like paying triple. And I'm like, I know, I just need it. Like,
of course you can't have not have it.
I said, you can lose Disney, you can lose ESPN. She's like, that's not the point. We have it twice. Like, I know we can lose Disney. I know we can, but they give you the package, so you can't just get rid of one. You got to get rid of all of it. And I'm like, I got it because I needed it.
Yeah.
It's my one like indulgence. And it's like, you hate to give them that money, but it's like, I loved it. I watched the game at home, recorded it. It's great.
And they're killing it too because you're able to piggyback off of somebody's Sunday ticket DirecTV account. Like that's what I've been doing for the last several years. But nope, I had to go out and buy it. Sucks.
I see.
Yeah.
I never got on board with that. I should have been craftier.
Yeah.
It sounds unethical to me to be piggybacking like that.
You of all people, Jim. You won't take money from DirecTV, but you'll cut wires.
Yeah.
I haven't paid for a game since 1966. Oh, I just flashed my badge and they let me in.
Yeah, that fireman badge gets you into anywhere. I know. I wish I was a fireman. You're a lieutenant, right? Lieutenant?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. Okay.
Let's just say I'm being paid to be a lieutenant.
Got it.
Look like a colonel. I'm a colonel in the fire department.
Rank of colonel.
It's a new position. Yeah.
I don't look like a warden.
So guys, really quick, we should just acknowledge our chat because our chat's just been blowing up.
Yeah.
No, okay. Jeremy Munoz, Queen of the North, Phil, he'll be joining us. TJ Baskerville, Kitty Cat, Simon, Cliff Victoria, Doug Van Dorn. Everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. We saw Ravi in here earlier. Mark Kazak. I gotta scroll up too far. Brouhaha. Thank you guys for joining us tonight, man. Steve Phillips. Yeah, that's my cousin. That's who was with me the night that I met you.
Oh, Foster, John Cooper, Aldo Gandia.
Aldo, thanks for joining us, guys.
Hey, Zach. Yeah, we got a lot of them are here because of you, Matt. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Or Fireman Pete, let's be honest.
Or Fireman, it's you guys, because that's what I put on it. I put it on like Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Live now, Matt Walsh and Fireman Pete.
So, guys, how are you feeling about this game? I would like to know your thoughts about another loss to the Packers after they just handed the reins over to another quarterback.
I'll preface it. Go. You want to go, Pete? I mean,
well,
you
have to say,
the ball, Pete. You're the one who lost us the game.
Everyone was telling.
None of your planks came through. You couldn't even stop Jordan Love. You said you're going to fix them.
No, the whole town was telling me we didn't need to. They said they didn't need my help this week. I thought I was going to take the whole season off. But all of a sudden, I'm drafted. I'm back on duty.
We're gonna need you more than ever. Jesus.
Overtime, Pete. Overtime.
Yeah, I mean, I do this out of love for the team, but come on, once in a while, I like to just watch the game and not have to influence it.
Go out of your way to get a win, right?
I was way before these kids are doing TikTok or whatever this stuff is. I was the original influencer of football games, behind the scene. I don't get any credit for it. I just do it out of love. But
were you in black and white when you were doing that?
Well, the games were, or they were blacked out. I had to go to Milwaukee to watch the goddamn game. I'm glad my uncle lived up there, or I wouldn't have been able to. Well, this was before I was with the department, and I had to watch on TV like the rest of you.
See, Foster's so old. When he was born, the life around him was still black and white. So I wasn't sure if it was back then or if it was when everything went into Technicolor.
The actual universe was black and white?
In reality was black and white when Foster was born.
I think I remember that too.
I thought you were there. You were there.
I was there.
Man.
No, I don't think they did that bad this week. There was a couple of big plays, on both sides of the ball. They weren't, especially in the first half. They looked pretty good. Just a few stupid things, but I think with a little help from their friends and sucking it up a little bit, they're going to be all right. I'm still optimistic. Ask me again in 6 weeks, but I'm still optimistic.
Speaking about a little help from their friends, we can just go ahead, Matt.
Oh, I love the live. You guys are on top of it. Yeah, the quarterback sneak was it's one game. I preface it all with this is one game. Everybody was so hyped about the Bears. We were reading all this good stuff. We all like Poles and Eberflus and Getsy, and we all like Fields. So it was like there was never more optimism, really. So that we were setting ourselves up, even though we probably smelled Packers always beat us at home. It sucks, on the opener, but there was that optimism. So we were kind of setting ourselves up to begin with. Let's say that. A lot of off-season chatter. But like PJ said, I was the whole game like, should we be blitzing more guys, or should we be stunting more, or like, I don't know. Like that was my general thought throughout the game, because Chicago lives and dies by the defense. If you have a good defense, you're going to win the fan base every fucking year, right? So I was just like, what's happening there? And then the offense line, we knew it was all jumbled, and Jenkins is still out or whatever, and they're moving guys around. So it's like, all right. And the new kid, he's a rookie, so he'll be not great, but he's a big man and he can push people around. So whatever. And then long story short, we started throwing lateral passes on the offense, and the receivers weren't blocking. And then we so believe in Cole Kmet as this piece of the machine, and it didn't work. Like, he is talented, and he's a great player, because you see him downfield blocking, and you see him, but there was something wrong there too, because I think they count on him, as being part of the thing. Like, Fields is our guy, and obviously DJ Moore wasn't used. I don't know, the answers, but like, that was disappointing, because like, he had a couple plays and the place lit up, and I'm like, oh, it's fucking on. We got our piece now. We got our number one receiver. And then that wasn't working. And I like Darnell Mooney. I was happy for him. He's on my fantasy team, so I was psyched about that. But like, a lot of the dependables, and everybody believed in Roshan. He's like one of the guys that delivered or over-delivered.
Player of the game.
Yeah, that kid's great. And Fields is like, I give him a B- on that game. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't terrible. He really wasn't. He's got great legs, and he's smart. And there's misplays, and there's expectations, and like, he's looking at yellow jerseys on every play. So I'm still on board with Fields. Like, and it's one game, but like, that's my hot, lengthy take on that game.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, Fields, he didn't play all that bad. There was some plays I wish he would have gotten rid of the ball a little bit quicker. But they, in typical Green Bay fashion, like this play that I just had here, let me pull this back up. This was a first down. And if you look right here, I'll have it paused here. I made the video to pause right there. His helmet is past the marker, and you look where the hash mark is. He's past the hash mark, but there, the ball is placed before the hash mark.
Yeah,
and it's just a typical Green Bay type of bullshit call. And here's another one to what you're saying about Kmet. Like right here, he's mauled. Yeah, he's being held right there, and they don't call this in the end zone. I mean, look at that. That's a flag.
Yeah.
They didn't call it.
That's like face guarding too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's more than 5 yards outside the line of scrimmage. So they didn't call it. Those are two costly things in this game. Yeah. They were actually driving the ball on that first drive. I believe that's why they went for it on fourth down.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. I don't agree with the Kmet sneak before that, but the fact that they went for it on fourth down, I can't blame them for it, because I think they actually got it.
So, PJ, what's your answer for the defense? What were you thinking? Because you were hot about it early. Tell me.
Well, with the defense, I thought we lacked the pressure, and then it's like we didn't change up. I understand, like, the first couple of series you're trying to get a feel out, but once they did the whole first half, we're down 10-6. Come second half, last year we did a great job of adjusting at halftime. This year we just sat there and did the same old thing, and then I think a couple of plays we blitzed the cornerback. That's when Kyle Gordon got hurt. So it's like, okay, we're not doing that. So we just sat there, and so My thought is, yeah, we should have brought more pressure, or at least changed up the look a little bit to where we actually pressing the corners or the wide receivers, do something different, and we did nothing.
And how did these new defensive tackles do? We had a couple rookies, right? We put a lot of draft capital into these youngsters. Did you pay attention to them? Were they?
Yeah, I was watching them, and it seemed like they didn't play enough, and I didn't see them get much pressure up the middle either. I mean,
it's hard to get to the quarterback in the middle, but I'm just curious what your take on those guys is, or any of you guys. I didn't pay attention to the inside of the line, or the guys.
Well, I mean, they did okay. In my opinion, I think they didn't do enough, but the fact that we didn't have no pressure at all, it was only 4, it was just horrible for me. I mean, I just thought we could have done a lot better.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, they just weren't getting enough pressure to him. They didn't. Right. They were trying to, was it Charles Johnson that played for the Packers? Who was it? The Hall of Fame cornerback turned safety that played for the Packers.
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
He always used to say about Cutler. He's like, we're going to make him play quarterback, and they didn't do that with Love. Love had some errant passes in that game, and it looked like, okay, we might be on to believing, or that really that Love is not going to be this next savior to the team, and he'll just be an average quarterback. He was overthrowing players. His receivers. He was off a little bit, but stupid shit, like the play where the botched fumble bounced off the ground, and then he just took it and just slung it Aaron Rodgers style to a wide open guy. That was so Packers against us.
Yeah. The gooch.
I wish they would have had more pressure on him. Maybe some blitzes. There's a lot of people that are calling for this coaching staff's head already, and that's just how Chicagoans are. I mean, the fan base is just we want results now. We're sick of getting smashed by Hall of Fame quarterbacks out of Green Bay, and this is our opportunity.
Yeah, have a little patience.
What?
I was going to say, have a little patience. It's only a game. And by the way, even if a guy isn't called on the field for a penalty, he can still be penalized after the game. In the case of number 29 and that flagrant foul in the end zone, somehow 4,500 Alka-Seltzers ended up in his pool up in Green Bay before the end of the evening. So it's not like he didn't have to pay anything for his infraction.
Or maybe you got somebody in Streets and Sanitation who has an extra Denver boot you could attach to his nice car.
Whether he had tickets or not, sometimes they're issued mistakenly.
Yeah, that's not a bad reminder.
Just to throw. I mean, our lives are full of aggravation. Why shouldn't their lives be full of aggravation?
Exactly.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the lack of starters playing in the preseason? Do you think that had anything to do with it?
I gotta say, I'm on the athlete side. If I'm a stud athlete, I'm like, why am I risking injury in these games? You guys already have us playing 17 games a year, and we're going to London and Germany, wherever you send us. Jesus, guys, if I want to take the preseason off, let me take some, I'll go in for a couple reps or something. But that's how I look at that. They probably, if you play together as a team in the preseason, your first game, you're going to be tighter. Sure. But I also feel like it'd be terrible if Fields or DJ Moore, or if Kyler Gordon went down in preseason as opposed to a real game that mattered, because it's going to happen. It happens in the Pro Bowl. It happens in well, maybe not anymore in the Pro Bowl, but
flag football.
Yeah, in the old Pro, I bet there's a hamstring injury this year at the Pro Bowl, but that's no ACL, no, but
the quarterback will tear a biceps trying to throw it through one of those hoops.
So long story short, I don't care how you manage your preseason. Even if it makes you maybe less competitive in the first game, but it guarantees 90% better health for the stud athletes that you need, I would be that coach. That's my opinion.
Fireman Pete.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, look, what was the score after the half? It was at 10-6, right?
10-6.
So, I mean, everyone's playing at pretty close to the same level. There's no advantage. You gotta. I wonder, and sometimes I do have my ears on the halftime chalk talk. I didn't hear what they said this time, but you wonder were there any adjustments that were made, and maybe it was a little bit of a coaching thing too.
Kind of looked like they didn't have any answer, like they didn't adjust to the game plan. Foster, what do you think? You were doing the game cast.
They did. It appeared to me they didn't make adjustments, and I really got upset seeing 2nd and 13, 2nd and 12, and we're 25 yards off the receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, soft coverage, inadequate pressure from all points. Mm-hmm. There's some good things too. I looked at, in the last 3 days. I spent almost most of this 3 days pretty much going over the offense because I wanted to see what this line was. And if we go back to that for a moment, on the up and up, Wright and Braxton played solid games. Nate Davis played a better game than it appeared to be during the game. If you go back and you look at the film, even Patrick, and I think he's the weakest link on the line there. Even him in passing situations, he was getting backed up, but he finally was able to plant and make a stop. So he's got some rough stuff that he's got to work on, and the same with Whitehair. And I'm just going to throw this in, Matt, because I think if these guys played together a little bit more than like 7 or 11 plays during the preseason, whatever it was, they would have more continuity because there was a few problems with handing a guy off or just missing a guy totally, and he's all over field. And to get that, you've got the reps every day, but sometimes it's not the same until you're in game situation because the guys that are playing across from you are your own defensive team, and they're trying to execute what the Packers are doing. Well, they can't really because they're not there in the game time situation. So if you go back and you watch all the film on the offense, you'll see that the line is much improved from last year.
So in the preseason, those linemen aren't, because my impression is that the pretty boys get to sit out, like the DJ Moores and your Fields, but the grunts in the trenches, they got to do a little more quarter to quarter, don't they? Or they don't do that?
Is it
all rookies?
It pretty much is rookies, second, third year guys who are vying for a spot on the practice squad or to be named to the roster. And some of that's not even by design this year because it seemed like everybody had an issue at a different time.
There was a lot of injuries in training camp. Yeah.
Right. They couldn't get them all on the field at the same time.
That's true.
But still, like, as many as you guys can get working together, I think they should run them at least 20 reps in that second preseason game, or I prefer the last one. Once they're in the best shape near the end, right before the season, I think they should play them a little more in that last preseason game, and then don't wait 2 weeks to start the season. Start it the following week. Because you get these guys going in game mode, then you're going to give them 2 weeks off again. It's just an opinion that I have. But like I said, I watched a lot more on the offense. Roschon Johnson, and I've been going on about this guy since we drafted him. He's a 3-down back. The guy should be playing every down, with minor rotations. You saw what he did on the field.
I feel like that'll happen. Right. It'll evolve into that. I think Khalil Herbert's fast and quick and definitely a great running back.
Absolutely, but he got all his yards. He got all those yards as second man behind Montgomery, and that's where you keep him. You keep him as that change of pace back. You want the guy who can do some pass blocking and catching and run the ball up the gut. You want him in there first. I mean, just an opinion. I've only been watching the Bears like every game since 1975, so I got a little bit of an idea what I see.
Let me ask you this, or this is to the panel, even Pete. How do you scheme an offense to use this new weapon, DJ Moore? What's the scheme? Like, what weren't they? Because you can run them short, you can run them slant, you can run them deep. Like, how do you scheme it?
They're real quick. They had several plays that I think the scheming was wrong. Even I was looking at some of these plays and I'm going, man, why didn't these guys break up instead of going out? And I'm talking receivers and running backs out of the backfield. Even I thought they could have changed the scheme a little bit where he'd go in like an open zone. There was some holes where the running back could have went. And then how many times did we really target DJ? How
3 times.
We caught those 2 passes. And
Targeted.
What?
I think he was only targeted 3 times.
Okay, so he's got to be more involved, man. You can put that guy anywhere. You can have him do a slant over the middle. You can have him do a curl.
Let's assume that Green Bay defense was shutting him down intentionally. Like one of their priorities was to shut down this guy. How do you break out of what? Do you know what I mean? Because every team is going to go. They have Roshan maybe, and they got DJ.
I have a theory on this. Justin said it himself in the post-game press conference that, and he probably shouldn't have said it, that the game plan was a short passing game plan. And I think it feels to me like because they saw that working in the preseason in the first game with just a couple of short plays, DJ Moore took one to the house. Herbert took the second one to the house. And then it was maybe the next preseason game, might have even been that same preseason game. He caught a short pass over the middle, turned it into like a 40-yard gain. So I think that they were thinking, let's. I think they're trying to out-scheme Green Bay, thinking that they might think we're going to have a spread offense and go deep with DJ Moore and try to get him more down the field. And we're going to change this up on you guys and we're going to go short because you're not going to think that's coming. And it just, in my opinion, that's what I think that they might have had in their minds, and it didn't work.
But you gotta keep them honest, even if that is your plan. You got to whip it down there every now and then, or they're going to start cheating up on you.
Right. You have to adjust during the game.
But then that means that the Bears offensive coordinators, we don't have enough time to throw it downfield. But why not roll it out? Why not put Fields out of the pocket and let them improvise a little bit, which the kid Fields is great at that because they know he can run. So they don't know how to play that play, right? He's coming he's rolling left. He's out of the pocket. They don't know if to pull up for the run or check out what's behind him.
Well, I think you have to, if you guys had a chance to look at Indiana play or Indianapolis play this week, and what they did for Richardson.
I saw highlights.
And
by the way, DJ was targeted 2 times and caught 2 passes. Sorry, PJ.
And if you notice that they actually made some plays to where it was like a run pass option to where he had to read just one player before he either hands it off, take off running, or actually pass it. Whereas we didn't do that with Fields. We do that, what we call that naked bootleg, and he got smashed the first play of the second half with.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, let's scratch that for right now and make it simpler. It's the first game because they didn't get many reps during the preseason. So it's a first game. Let's work him slowly into it by doing what they did with Richardson, those simple things like that. And then after he gets comfortable, we can then throw the ball downfield about 20 yards on an end cut or something like that, which I saw nothing of. And that's besides the elephant in the room being Claypool, who just played horrible.
Oh my God.
He didn't run his routes right. He didn't block right. He didn't do anything right. So, but
I don't know what to think about that guy because he was like lightning in a bottle in Pittsburgh for a year or two.
Right.
And I think he obviously has talent, but it's interesting. Why does that guy not deliver?
Looks like Tarzan plays like Jane.
Here was another thing too in the passing game, because Fields, there was times where he didn't have the time. We counted, it was like 2 seconds. So what they need to do, I think, is have him one and done. You read that first option, you don't even bother progressing to the second guy. Then you take the throw down, man, whether it's to the tight end or the running back. You take that short pass, and they probably got forced into that more, but they probably didn't attempt to adjust in the second quarter. Okay, you know what? We'll have 2 tight ends set. We're going to block for this guy. Let's go downfield. They didn't do any of that.
Well,
they didn't even attempt to do any of that unless I didn't see it right. But
keep in mind that Wright, our rookie starting left right tackle, he only played 1 quarter in the preseason, and our right starting guard, he didn't play no quarter. I mean, he didn't play at all in preseason.
Right.
So these guys are like not have no continuity with each other. They don't have no playing time, so they don't even know how to block when it comes to a game. If the guard goes, I mean, if the right tackle goes in or the right end goes out, I mean, whichever, they don't know how to pass them off because they didn't get a chance to practice all that and really get to know each other. So I think a lot of that's to do with the fact that they didn't have a lot of time together. And then due to injury, not playing, all these factors factoring in, so you can't have a real sophisticated pass protection because they haven't been there together.
100%. You're right. The offensive line, no chemistry, and put them in for.
That's probably why they decided to go to a short passing game, right? Maybe that's a reason why. Tyree Carter, he was a practice squad guy last year. Now he made the team this year. He played excellent in the preseason in place of Davis, who missed, barely practiced, didn't play in the preseason. Boom, they put him out there in the first game. Maybe they thought, let's go to the short passing game so that we don't expose our offensive line because they haven't had enough time to gel.
But even with that, though, on the short passing game, Claypool missed his blocks. Or the Tunyon, he missed his blocks.
Over and over.
Constantly missing these blocks, and it's like a short passing game is predicated upon precision. You have to be precise. Yep. Hey, you have to hit this man and then go real quick. And if you miss that block, the whole play is wrong.
Right.
Well, it makes me think we got out-coached because it sounds like they prepared for the short passing game on the defensive side. They were crashing through blocks. They were anticipating it. They saw it in the preseason. Like Belichick, shut down the thing they want to do out of the gate. So they were like, whatever happens, we're not going to give them their short passing game. Got it? And that's what they did. So then, granted, of course, the offensive line is, the chemistry will come, and it is one game, 100%. Like, I still believe there's going to be, knock on wood, a 500 season in this locker room. I really do. But it's interesting, think about the pieces that it's coaching, really, unless, I don't know. It's interesting.
No, it's definitely coaching.
A lot of coaching involved here, man.
Both
sides of the ball.
If you're going to run a short passing game, wouldn't you want to put ESB in there, who's your best blocking receiver, over Claypool?
Mercedes Lewis?
Right.
Then you can run. Then you can do short passes.
ESB is inactive.
I think what we're missing is the fact that had the short passing game started working, Green Bay would have made an adjustment. Then that's when they used Claypool as well as DJ for over the top. But because the first part didn't happen, the second part couldn't happen.
Doing a podcast.
Right. That's true.
It's a good point, dude.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I believe happened because, it was so blew up that they couldn't progress to the second part of that, and they didn't know how to then adjust to the short passing game ain't working. So what do we do now?
Yeah,
they don't.
I mean, what was working? Like we have Roshan Johnson that's kind of working, not consistently, but promising. And I still think how do you get DJ Moore around the ball? Like if it's not the bubble screen or whatever, what does that guy go who's the guy that did the 8-yard curl for 2 years for us and would just get hammered? Booker. Let's go Marty Booker playbook. Let's get the 8-yard curl going. You know what I mean? Like we did that with a bad quarterback and a bad team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Where are there quick slants too in the short passing game,
I mean, if you remember,
absolutely.
During training camp, you heard all these reports about Fields and Moore making these connections on these long passes. But then when they came to the two preseason games that they played, they did the short passing game. And it's like you never saw anything long. You never saw Fields throw a long pass in a game all preseason long. But you heard about it in practice. So you're like, okay, now we got to a game here, a real live game, and we're not seeing no long passes. Some of it's the fact that he got the air pressure right up his face, but it's also where have you built that continuity in real game time situation? Because you never thrown a long pass to DJ Moore in a real game, be it preseason or not, in a game period. Practice is different because in practice your defensive lineman ain't going to hit the quarterback, so you don't have to really worry about when you would have a sack, you still get to finish the play and still make the pass.
Mm-hmm.
Real games, you can't do that.
Right.
So therefore, it wasn't something to be able to be built upon and see where you really at.
Evie Bear Down Davis is saying, can anyone make a good determination after game one? You can't.
No. I have two questions for you guys. Was your impression then that the Packers were up on the receivers all game in general? Defensively. Like, was the Packers defense just totally playing up on them to eliminate the short pass?
Yeah, I thought that. I mean, they wasn't playing off of them like that. They were playing pretty close.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But more so, what I attributed it to is the fact that it seemed like Green Bay used their preseason to prepare for the Bears, whereas the Bears didn't use the preseason to prepare for them.
Interesting.
The Packers were playing a zone, but they were playing short. They were not deep off the ball, especially on the wideout.
Okay.
So it's a similar zone to the Bears. I think it's real close to it. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. But their short zone was not like the Bears. I just got so aggravated with seeing them given the yards that they need for first down. They're just handing it to them, and then everybody's it's great. He came up and made the tackle, but so they weren't like playing on the receivers all the time, but they were no more. If you go back and you look at it, those defenders, most of them were within 5 yards on a first down. So they were tighter to the wide receiver than we were playing. Definitely.
Let's bring in Vil. Vil's been waiting in the back for an hour now. Let's bring him in and see what he has to say here. What's up, my man? Did I just pop you in unexpectedly? He's like sitting there with his wife, like, sorry, hun.
Man, he sets up jokes, but I just can't say them these days.
You're muted, man.
There we go.
There you are.
I was saying that Foster is just about as slow as his Wi-Fi with his joke. But anyway, just keep it moving. When it comes to the issues that you all have been discussing, it's coaching based, especially when it comes to the execution. They were not prepared, as Matt said and pointed out earlier. They were very unprepared and overcoached, like completely overcoached, because a lot of the concepts that Green Bay put out there, it was very easy for them to pick the defense apart. Like especially Aaron Jones out and in route. Like that's a simple, easy out in blown coverage in the backfield, no safety help, no coverage up top. Everybody spreads and opens the field like Moses spreading water or whatever. Like it just was trash. So throughout that game, there were some things like the third down play by commit. I know y'all discussed that. Like that's a momentum stopper. When your offensive line was working and was pushing the ball, whether it's 3 to 4 yards of play on a rush or a 3 to 4 yard short pass, because Justin Fields, someone in the chat was speaking about, him not getting the ball out on time. But I believe that he was from the first to about mid third quarter. But after you add 15 screens in between that time, it's like, bro, what are we doing? Like, this horizontal game isn't doing anything. It's not going to move the ball down the field. Yes, Fields missed maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 because quarterback school did a good job of kind of identifying different things that he could have done. Swift said hi. Sorry, you threw me off. There's a few things that he could have identified, but it's game one. When he like PJ said, Coach PJ, that was perfect. When you said it's game one, he's not going to be able to see that straight off the bat. It's different from practice. It's different from when you're playing your own defense and they know your plays and they kind of back off a little bit or don't know something new that's been implemented and they don't guess it. These guys have known Lou Getsy They've known his tendencies for years. They, being Matt LaFleur, did we not see Hackett go somewhere and stink it up last year with Russ Wilson? Did we not see Hackett over on the Jets in that first game not move the ball very well, even though it was with Zach Wilson, because Aaron Rodgers' Achilles went out, and hopefully speedy recovery. He can come back next year and ball out. Now that he's not on the Packers, I can say that.
Fireman Pete is not rooting for Aaron Rodgers' recovery, just for the record.
I just don't want to sound like I'm the biggest Packer and Aaron Rodgers hater. I just don't like talking about injury. Like, I'm not going to default. So I agree with you, man. Like FGB in the chat. We do this a lot. I push FGB, hashtag FGB in the chat, and you'll start seeing it. Fuck Green Bay. But they sucked. They didn't move the ball very well, other than a few good run plays with the Jets game earlier this week with Hackett. So when it comes to those coaches, they're like Bill Belichick's tree or Andy Reid's tree. Like, those guys get out there and they get it done. I haven't seen one coach from Green Bay tree from LaFleur actually produce like LaFleur yet. Have you guys? No. So Getty needs to prove himself. Alan Williams needs to prove himself, because Poles has done everything that he can do to add talent. We have over 30 plus new players on this team. Something had to improve, and nothing did in that first game. Granted, this game was
what?
Who was talking? Sorry.
Me, are you going to let your wife talk or what?
You asked me to explain my thoughts. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let her in here real quick. I'm sorry. She ain't holding the noose up over my head yet, so she's letting me talk. She's nodding. So I told you my Forrest Whitaker eye is always working. So whenever I lean over this way and I know she's about to, come on with it, then I'll slow down. But basically, I think this was all, like I said, it's all on the coordinators. They were vastly unprepared. Defensive and offensive side of the ball. The effort wasn't there. That was the big thing. The biggest question mark is, where was the effort? Where was the grit? Where was the grind? Where was other than DJ Moore pushing the fucking jerk Jair Alexander, we didn't see it. And I think Lucas Patrick might have came over there and pushed him too. But other than that, where was the ferociousness? Where was the other? Roshan Johnson had the biggest hit, and he played in the third and fourth quarter. He had the biggest run and smash and knocked Ford completely out, so much so that he was so embarrassed that he got up and pushed and got a unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah. That fire needs to be in every player. You are playing Green fucking
Player
Bay.
Of the game, he was.
Exactly. You're playing Green Bay in front of fans that want to see something new, and y'all come out walking like that. That is on coaching. You did not prepare that.
My question.
Yes, sir.
Who's the leader on defense? Who right now? Who do you think the leader is going to be on defense?
They wanted to push it over to Edmonds, but I think it's far too soon for that. Jalen Johnson has been here the longest, and he knows Green Bay versus Bears and what it means to us. Eddie Jackson has been here longer, and he knows what this means to us and these fans. They should have drilled that into the offense. I seen a report. I don't know if any of you guys seen it, that one star DB had texted Justin Fields about leadership. Bitch, did you all see what y'all did on defense? What did you all do to show that there was leadership out there? Yeah. When did y'all pull somebody to the side and smack them in the helmet and say, wake the fuck up?
Right.
What core defensive line, linebackers, or DBs, which unit looked like they were ready to play?
Well, here's my Vegas bet.
Yes, sir.
End of the season, all you guys, who's going to be, and misses as well, who's going to be the leader on the defense? What's your suspicion, or what's
Brisker? Brisker's a leader.
Brisker.
Yeah, he's the leader. He's a leader. It's just that the fact that he's only a second-year player, so everyone's not conceding to his leadership. They hoping that Edmonds be the leader, but Edmonds, because of his lack of playing time during preseason and playing, he's not there yet because he got looked off on a couple of plays. So he's not the true leader right now. Right now, I say it's Brisker. Whether or not it be at the end of the year, maybe Edmonds take over for him in true leadership. But right now, I say it's Briscoe.
Okay.
Fireman, what do you think about the lack of everyone kind of looking dejected even after they had just scored and they were within range to come back before another turnover? It seemed like they just didn't have the energy. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Fusser. It seemed like they didn't have the energy, or like when you score, you rally your troops and you go, we're not out of this game. We have plenty of time to win this. Do you think they just were lacking that?
Yeah, I didn't see the anger. Where is the anger? You look at great defenses and they take personal offense to every yard that is gained, for every point that is scored. They take it as an affront to them. It's an embarrassment. And so that defense has got to look like put some zing back in it. You got Dick Butkus sitting on the sideline. Isn't there some vibes coming off of him, just oozing into them? And then the offense too, because I think this team does have some character. I'd like to see that offense thinking it's not over till the last snap is happening. You're throwing long balls. You're still in this game. They were in the game for most of the game, but boy, they didn't look like they believed they were in the game.
Hey, Fireman Pete. I just wanted to say and stop you there when you talked about Dick Butkus. He was extra fired up on Twitter. Like, he tweeted every day after he got that call and they asked him to be on the sidelines. He had fans hyped up. If Dick Butkus he could have came out there and attacked and got in the backfield, because they just looked like they were dejected from the first snap. Period.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see any energy. The only person that really started off the game well was Yannick. I would have put Dick Butkus in that halftime room and had him go the fuck off like he probably did back in the day. Mm-hmm. That was trash, because Matt Eberflus is too fucking soft as a coach. He speaks too softly. Alan Williams, I don't even know if he has a characteristic, if he has any fire in him. Yeah. I have never really heard him talk above a whisper. And Luke Getsy, the bullshit that he talked about today, I don't even want to repeat the fucking quotes from the press conference today. It was a whole bunch of, I didn't know who was in at personnel because I didn't plan, or I wasn't over the personnel that was coming in. I left that to my wide receiver coaches and all that. What? No, y'all don't communicate? There's no communication?
Wow.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
you got Dick Butkus there. You got to show up.
Yeah, and I think that because football is a rough sport, and there's pain involved, and there's a little bit of fear involved. I mean, all these guys are playing at a high level, but when you got guys like Butkus or Singletary staring across from you, and they're trying to rip your head off, that just does little things to the back of your head. And if you start seeing things out of the corner of your eye, and you start thinking twice about whether you want to stick those arms out for a catch and stuff like that, and all that ferocity pays off in the course of a game. And boy, they better learn that fast, because you can't teach it.
I think
there was something that was said earlier about, I think Matt had asked about how did we think they defended our wide receivers? I got an answer for that. I don't know if anybody answered that, but they had a horizontal game plan. That's what Luke Getsy called it, right? Yeah. So what Green Bay did was play in a nice zone, and all they had to do was stay in that zone. When a player comes through that zone, what happens is you just follow until you pass it off to the next, and then pass it off to the next. So if all you're doing is this instead of this, every zone, from first level to second level to third level, all they're doing is standing and going laterally. That's very easy than pushing forward and pressing them back and making them move in different directions vertically. So obviously it's no energy. All I got to do is follow you like this. Instead of like me having to take off and run back and then somebody cutting underneath, like that's very easy. 15 fucking screens. How hard is it for me to go straight forward and not soft Claypool? You need to.
Well, that's it. The blocking, they were either getting around or just smashing through it. It was ineffective. Yeah.
Absolutely. So all they had to do, go ahead. Sorry.
I wanted to ask, where were it's only one game, and of course, the Bears, knock on wood, will make a 500 run this year. But are
you saying that this record isn't possible?
Oh my God. That is really optimistic. I'm in. Talk to me after week 2.
Matt's saying that they're going to have 500 yards of offense by the end of the year.
We won 3 games last year, gentlemen. 500 would be a Super Bowl in many ways. But I love the team. But my question is, when we did blitz, what's the scheme for our blitzing? Like, how do they approach blitzing?
There was very minimal blitz. I'll leave this to PJ. PJ has that. Yeah.
I know the couple of times that we blitzed, we was blitzing our quarterback or cornerback or a nickelback.
Is that the guy and do they take him on the weak side, or like where's he coming from?
He came from the play. I remember where he got hurt. He came from on the screen, the right side or the left side of the defense. He came there and got chipped by the guard and then got hit by the running back. So he got hit twice. And failed. So, but here's the thing I think we're overlooking too. You guys mentioned it, but I think you guys kind of glossed over it. The fact that we on that first drive of the game, we get down. I mean, we moving the ball pretty decently, get down to a 3rd and short, run a trick play and don't get it. Turn right back around and do a quarterback sneak, and you killed all momentum. So when the defense comes out there, because here we are going for it on 4th down on our own territory, the 40-yard line, the defense is like, oh man, we behind the sticks, and they let them score, and we never recovered from that. I think was a mindset ever since then. It's like, man, this ain't working right, and our whole defense was just flat, and it really just showed the second half.
That's unacceptable. I'll talk to the defense. That's unacceptable.
Give them a call.
I don't care what the offense gives you. Knock somebody on their ass. Punch them in the mouth. Fuck it. We're the team. Who cares about the offense? Like, we're the defense. That's all Chicago cares about.
Right.
That's the marquee of our team. That's all we ever care about is like, hurt that guy, kill that motherfucker.
But Matt, if you think about it though, we got all these new guys new to Chicago. They don't know that tradition you're talking about. They don't know.
That's why I asked the question about the leader. Like, who do you guys see eclipsing and taking this locker room on the defensive side? So
that's why I say Brisker, but Brisker's being hurt.
Players from Chicago on the team.
But that's true. But a lot of them's not even contributing. I mean, because the guy on the defense from Chicago is who?
TJ Edwards had 14 tackles. He gave it his best.
Yeah.
And he's the only
he got blew by Aaron Jones also.
And that was a beautifully designed play.
I'll give him a break.
It was beautifully designed. I mean, because
that was about I agree, PJ, it was a great design, but look at the all 22. That play is usually called generally around goal line, which makes it like a quick pop.
Mm-hmm.
Like that literally was a man breaker, a man beater. Like that's all it was a man beater. There was nothing
did you see
special about it. Go ahead.
Did you see Edmonds? Did you see what Edmonds did on that play?
Yeah, both him and Edwards. Edwards was actually on him.
Love looked off Edmonds. Edmonds went off to the left, and that's when he threw it back to the right. That's how it was so wide open.
There's a slant coming in Edmonds' zone, so he bit. So, but that still Edmonds when Jones got to the line of scrimmage because it was an out. I forgot it's like I don't know if it's not power, but it's something that they call it. But it was up and over, basically coming up, and you're off either the left tackle or the tight end if there's a tight end. You boom. right to the middle of the field. Once he got here, Edwards was flat foot. Like he didn't even try to like come up to like at least kind of give him a good shot to stop his motion. He just literally sat there and he just crossed his face and was gone. You can't do that with Aaron Jones.
He was playing outside leverage. Edwards was playing outside leverage.
And he was flat foot and got beat on it.
Agreed.
You don't do that. Like
Agreed.
So no, I agree with you too, PJ. Don't hopefully you're not taking it as that. But it showed that they weren't even ready to be physical. Like, yes, outside coverage might work on that play because maybe you think he's going to break out. Maybe because it could be a choice. It could be a choice, right, where he comes out and breaks out or breaks in. But either way, if you know it's a choice, maybe have him come up and stick him so he won't be able to choose. If you not, because you have 5 yards to attack oncoming receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He made the move at the line of scrimmage. Pop his ass, or at least put a hand on him. Come up and step up and put a hand on him.
I think what it is the fact that they designed that play to beat Edmonds, meaning I'm gonna look off the middle linebacker, make him go this way. That's why I'm gonna have Jones act like he's gonna go on the outside, knowing all along he's gonna come back in the middle because I'm gonna have that middle linebacker vacate based upon me looking him off. So it was a design play. That's what I'm saying. It was like they schemed him. That's what it came down to. Just out schemed him. Yeah, and
they definitely have to take this tape, including the some of the Fields misses that we see all over the internet where they're like, oh, look, he was wide open. But they don't think about the progressions that he has to go to. But that's a whole nother story, whole nother show. We'll break that down. Like I said, I don't break down tape, but progressions is a basic knowledge. Like if you don't know what the quarterback's progressions are, shut the fuck up. Don't talk about it. Because a lot of that was not on fields. A lot of that, like you guys said earlier, a lot of that stuff was bad designs, 2 receivers in the same area, all that stuff like that. And 15 out of 37 passes were screens.
Shitty block screens too, yeah. Claypool getting blown up.
Right. But Matt started talking about Chicago tradition. So I kind of want to just get a few of the questions out that we were brought on to discuss so that we can have a little fun and not be so depressed because Foster came on depressed first earlier and was like, man, I don't want to fucking think. He watched all
shit 22. On me, man. Blame on me.
No,
Pete, how come it took you so long to finally get Rodgers' Achilles? We have been waiting 12 years for that shit.
I didn't have the right people in the right place. And by the way,
I'm available, man. I take care of stuff.
Better late than never is all I can say.
All right.
Okay, so let's get some questions going for Fireman Pete and Matt Walsh. I'll start off because he was talking about the tradition of being Chicago, how we're supposed to be a hard-nosed defense, defensive team, run game, all that stuff. We're known for violent hits, interceptions, turnovers, and things like that. But I want to talk about the city part of it. Fireman Pete was talking about earlier some of the Chicago spots, and you came on a little later and before I got off. So my first question to you, in regards to Chicago and the Bears rivalry with the Packers, what are some of the fond memories, or what is the most fond memory that you have of a Packer-Bears game?
Well, I have a personal story about that. My father, and this is actually a true story, my father was best man at a wedding that was happening on a Sunday while the Bears and Packers were playing. And he and a few of the groomsmen were in the bar next to the hall watching the Bears game, and they held up the wedding for a half an hour until that game ended. And that is a true story, and that is how deep Bear fandom, especially when it comes to the Packers, runs through my veins.
You love it. I would have done the same thing.
Mine was I actually went up to a game with my dad who's passed many years ago, and it was a really sweet memory. One of the last games my dad and I went to was a Packer game in Lambeau, which fuck the Packers, but people open up their front lawn and you drink in their living room, and it's a really cool stadium, and it's a wonderful, and the fans were pretty decent. They were, but it was a fond memory of my father and I went with mutual friend Scott, who Jim knows, and his dad.
I got one more quick thing.
Go ahead.
Wait, did I just lose it? Oh, I was in the stadium the day Walter Payton surpassed Jim Brown's rushing record. And there was like a 10-minute ovation, and the hair is standing on the back of my neck even now when I think about it. I loved Walter Payton. I think he was one of the greatest athletes ever. And here's another quick little Walter Payton story. I was on the way to a fire conference and somehow finagled first-class seats in the airplane. And sitting across the aisle from me, and this is another true story, was Howie Long. And it was the day after Emmitt Smith surpassed Walter in the all-time rush list. And I didn't want to bug Howie Long during the flight. But as we were walking down the runway, I said, "What'd you think about Emmitt Smith passing Walter?" He said, "Yeah, really something. He's a great player." I said, "Yeah, I got to tell you, some of us in Chicago are a little bitter about that." And he said, "Let me tell you something about Walter Payton. No defense in the NFL ever wanted to play against Walter Payton. He ran, he blocked, he caught passes, he could even throw passes. He was the most potent offensive weapon ever in the NFL." And from that day on, I was a Howie Long fan.
All right. So I got a few Chicago questions, and my wife got maybe one or two questions herself for you guys. But quick fire. Now, being us and the chat on Sunday, we're talking about Chicago's trademark favorite alcohol first shot that brings and initiates you into being a Chicagoan at your first bar at 21, Malort. Both of you guys, give us, Dougie V and Mark in the chat, y'all remember, give us y'all's first experience with Malort or your worst experience with shots of Malort.
I've never done Malort. The first time I did Malort was when the Bears came out to the new SoFi Stadium. I've avoided Malort my whole life like it was rat poison. So fuck Malort. I don't like it. And I had a sip of it. I'm like, what? I don't even like this. Why am I drinking that?
My only experience with Malort was I almost got fired because of it. It was actually at the fire academy, and I was in charge of the burning house. They had a house that's not supposed to, they use the same house and have guys run into it and test the equipment and everything. Well, I used Malort to start the fire, and it burnt the whole fucking house down, and they had to rebuild it out of cinder block, and I had to pay for it out of my paycheck.
Well, that's when you became Fireman Pete, huh?
That's when I almost became no longer
fired man Pete.
Right.
It's been used as an incendiary ever since.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gasoline and turpentine mixed.
You guys
they
are
use that shit in Vietnam,
Can we get a facial expression of your first experience? Just a quick one.
Of Malort?
Yeah. Somebody screenshot it.
Like
You look stuck like Mitch McConnell, or you look stuck. That was the experience there. Okay, another question, and then I'll let my wife, because she's a huge fan, Matt, and she's a big comedy person. I want her to talk to you and Pete about some of the clubs that you all probably started off. And she has a few questions, but my last question, now I'll pass it on to her. Top 3 most uppity suburbs in Chicago.
Uppity. Ooh, I like that word. I'm gonna go ahead, Jim.
Winnetka, number 1.
Winnetka. Okay. For me, Hinsdale.
Yes.
There's one by Barrington or something like.
Barrington, darling.
Yeah, probably Barrington.
Barrington might be it. Oh,
Yeah.
Lake Zurich?
No, there's one right. It's called like Robin's Breast. It has like a ridiculous.
Oh yeah, real small one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lincolnshire, Park Ridge. The chat's saying Naperville.
Naperville's not that. And then
Lake Forest.
That kid from Naperville on the Packers ate us up on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all ate us up.
A little bit of Evanston, maybe a little bit of Evanston.
That's where I was born.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look how you turned out.
That explains.
Look how your dancing turned out.
Oh, no, you know what's number 1? Kenilworth.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
That's
Kenilworth.
the
Steve said Hawthorne Wood.
Hawthorne Wood.
Yeah, that's the one.
Stickney.
Displaying the city of its destiny.
So I'll bring my wife on real quick. We'll just be another couple questions. This is my wife, TJ Baskerville. She's a writer. She's an awesome woman, mother. She takes care of all the kids and all the things that I don't have to do. Thank God that I can run in here and jump on with you guys. And so I'll go ahead and let her do her thing.
I just want to say, he doesn't understand anything unless it's about football or sports. So I'm really trying to learn the language so that I can get him to hear me say something. Before we got married, here's a quick joke. Before we got married, I have a friend she's into sports. So I was like, well, he's all into, football, and I can't get anything out of him, especially when football's on. So she was like, well, I'll text you stuff about the game that you're watching and then just say it to him, right? And so she was like texting me stuff, and I would just come in the room and I'd say, hey, that was a good, whatever touchdown. And then he looked up like, what? So I did this a couple times, and he was like, what is going on? And I kid you not, he proposed to me a couple months later. So I think that's
What was the Limp Bizkit song? I did it all for the Nookie. The Nookie.
He's
did it all for the Nookie. It had nothing to do with football.
I think it was because of that. I think that's when he was like, I really love her.
But remember, Shorty, when I told you earlier, she comes in and she makes up team names like Matt and Fireman Pete. She'll come in and be like, hey, how about those New England Soxerbackers? And I'll be like, the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. What are you doing?
Fuck out of here.
I thought I joined a fantasy football league at work. And I'm like, oh, this will get him to like pay attention to me during football. And so I'm like, I need help with you to help me pick my league.
Yeah.
He was like, okay. So
it's a pick 'em. It's a pick. It's not a draft or anything like that.
I was like, I'm not happy.
But she knows more now than Shorty up there. Me, Foster, and everybody been trying to get him. So I was going to ask the last question. I was going to ask you real quick. What's the name of your fantasy team this year? I heard you talk about that, but you got to ask your question.
I have two. One of them is a bunch of guys who live out here in LA, a bunch of comedy guys, and it's called Star Machine. And it's like a face of the Oscar, and it's kind of making fun of Hollywood. And
nice.
We talk shit the whole time. And then the other one was a bunch of my nieces and nephews and a couple of my brothers. And I think that one's called Joshua Tree Airbnb because it's a callback. My brother took the nephews out to some skanky, scary Joshua Tree Airbnb. And the minute they stayed there, they felt like they're going to be murdered. And then they found this woman was a dominatrix. And then some dude showed up and there was a dead rooster in the backyard. It was like crazy scary. So it's a tribute to my brother fucking up a weekend.
You didn't like write that into like some skit or some shit? That's an SNL skit. Sound like it.
Oh, it's better than that. It comes up family lore every Thanksgiving. They relive every detail of that. It's good.
That's awesome.
Fireman P, I don't know if you had I'm sure you guys haven't had a chance to see the chat, but I just have to say, I know you probably get this. You look like a young Jack Nicholson. I don't know if people have told you that. But
your wife, Shorty, said agrees.
Yeah.
Your wife agrees.
You hear that, Foster? She used the word young with me. Young.
No, I haven't heard that since 5 centuries ago.
Yeah.
Well, Foster currently looks like Santa Zaddy right now with the beard. You got the nice Santa Zaddy. Like he could go down to Miami and get some. Well, his wife might be in there, so I don't want to say that. My wife kind of lets me get a little lenient with jokes.
It depends on what we get.
But ask a serious question.
None of my wives like me, so it doesn't matter.
Join the club.
So Matt, I mean, I watch a lot of. I'm a huge comedy fan. One of my favorite actors of all time is Will Ferrell. So I know you've done a couple things with him. One of my questions for you is, who was you know how you have you're acting and you have to keep redoing stuff because you're laughing at the other person because out of, from Hangover to Step Brothers, who would you say made it the most difficult to get through a scene?
Probably Zach Galifianakis.
Really? I thought that.
He giggles a lot, and I know him. He's very giggly, and we make each other laugh too much.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I like his show, The Fern, Between Two Ferns.
Yeah, he's funny. He's a lovely guy. He's a good guy. He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah. And I think that was it. You asked one of my other questions, but about the Chicago. But that was it. Shorty, my son was born in Evanston. So
wow, really? Yeah. Evanston Hospital? Yeah.
Nice.
Expensive hospital.
Yeah.
One out of
I got
two.
a question for CJ. TJ. What's your TJ or CJ? I'm sorry. TJ Baskerville.
Yeah.
Her name is Tawana, so a lot of people butcher it.
T as in pickle.
T as in T as in Tom.
Right, TJ. I said TJ. I thought
you said TJ. It's the gummy that Foster passed.
All right, TJ Baskerville. What's your best high-level football reference? Like if you want to impress your husband there, and you want to walk in the room, top of your head, try to say something that makes you sound like you know what you're talking about.
Did you see that touchdown that Fields made?
You are so much smarter than that. You're so much smarter than that. You got to up your game, even if you don't know what you're saying. Drop in like a Tampa 2 or a Mike linebacker. You got to go you guys got to help her out. Just give her some.
She came in one game and asked me. She was like, "So, explain the downs." And she was like, I know they just said third down, but so at least she actually tries. I give that to her. And I know all of you all, have been married before. And I come to all of you all for marriage advice and things like that. You guys are awesome stand-up guys, period, as men, period. But it always baffles me when she tries to talk to me during games. Yeah. How do you all, I'm pretty sure guys in the chat understand what I'm saying. And maybe even females that are heavy football fans and their husbands aren't. So how do you guys, everybody that's your TJ Shorty?
I bought another house.
Yeah.
I mean,
simplest way, man.
There's always the pause button.
Mm-hmm.
Also, sometimes Chris Collinsworth isn't that interesting. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Take the volume down. Depending on the game, if it's a Bears game, it's a little more vital. But
Yeah.
Have you ever watched TJ? Have you ever watched Hard Knocks?
Yes.
Did you watch this year?
No.
No,
you should have watched it. It was a good one.
It was a good one.
Aaron Rodgers. I don't allow it. She
made me like him. No, it made you like Aaron Rodgers.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm the biggest Aaron Rodgers hater, but it did make me.
Yeah.
A little bit because I can now. He's not a Packer anymore.
Yeah.
I'll let her watch quarterback.
Yeah, you should watch quarterback. That's a good one too. That's really interesting. Make a point of watching Hard Knocks. Then you'll get some like good jargon and some good lingo, and you'll actually get drawn to the players. You'll like, oh, I want to put you would have had Breece Hall on your team if you would have watched Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
You would have had like what's his name, the receiver
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. You would have had Garrett. You would have drafted Garrett Wilson. So it's really fun to get to know these guys through the shows. You don't ever draft what Marcus Mariota. He's going to be mediocre in person and on the field. Let's be honest.
No,
That's why I don't play fantasy. I draft all Bears.
Yeah,
I say boycott Hard Knocks, and I even boycotted Jeopardy because Aaron Rodgers was on it. That's how hardcore
my own heart.
You should have asked him a COVID question.
Fireman,
I was going to ask that too. Go ahead, Shorty.
You do realize that Corey Wooten, a Bear, ended Favre's career, and then Leonard Floyd, an ex-Bear, could be the one that ends Aaron Rodgers' career. Kind of, I tweeted it out. I'm actually part of this PSF app now with Sean Salisbury, the former NFL cornerback. You know who he is, guys, right? Sean Salisbury. He was all over ESPN.
Yeah.
There's a new app called Pro Sports Fanatics that I'm on there with. He's the president of it, and he I completely lost my train of thought. Damn it! I hate when that happens.
Two Bears
that
and
app,
two
guys,
Packers.
like you can go on and find all the Bears information on one app and literally jump from show to show.
And you can go into the
really
Packers
cool
app and talk to them. Yeah.
Well, it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence.
Everybody's able to just come together in a chat and just go to whatever chat they want to and make comments and stuff. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go away.
No, it's not a coincidence that two Bears or ex-Bears ended two Hall of Fame Packer seasons. So I can't get into any more details about that, but it is not a coincidence.
You won't hear any more about it, Pete, and you guys know nothing about it, and nobody will ever say anything because I'm the one who paid them all off.
Zip it.
I have a question for you guys, and then I have to help shut some of my kids down and get them ready for school. But my question is, Pete, what's the name of that bar we occasionally went to in Burbank where they would sing the Bear Down song? Yeah. What was that, Tin Horn?
Tin Horn Flats.
All right. So Pete and I Pete would come out to LA to watch games. And when he was here doing some ridiculous money grab for the city of Chicago, even though he's out in LA, on the payroll, double time, classic Pete. We would go to this place, Tin Horn Flats, bunch of Chicagoans. And
all kids.
Yeah. And we would Bears would score. We'd start singing the Bear Down Chicago Bears song. They would tell you, no, they would stop you and they wouldn't let you sing it because they only would let you sing it at the end of the game. So my question for you guys is, if you went to a bar and they made that rule to you, what would you do? What's your take on that?
I'm screaming that shit out loud and getting kicked out.
Yeah.
Well, if I was at a bar, I wouldn't just be singing it, but it's fun to sing it with everybody while you're at the game in the stadium. But if you're the only person singing it at a bar, you look silly. So I would wait till
after about 4 or 5 shots of my Lord, I get it cracking. I'll just be singing it off key, loud as shit, breaking windows.
Who cares? Like, how can you sing that song too many times?
Don't you take me off.
Yeah,
talking about drinking
that song too many times, especially if the game's going well.
Well, here's what I told those greenhorns at Tin Horns. Because I've been in 300 games in the South End Zone, and the tradition in Soldier Field is that when they score any points, you sing Bear Down.
Yes,
that's all. You don't get to make up a new rule in California.
Yes.
That's the rule. You sing.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
You're out of your fucking mind. Yeah, that made me angry.
Right. Before you go, I have 2 one-word answers for you, or one-word questions for you. They're one-word answers. Unos or lose?
Lou.
Lou for sausage. Uno for anything else.
The sausage is too much. It's too ambitious. That's like a whole inch and a half of like pork fat. Come on.
I can hear my wife from here in the other room going, "Yes, this is our running thing." Like, Uno's to me, it's only the one on Ohio Street, not the chain. Lou's is a better chain. But for me, if I had the choice between the original Lou's and the original Uno's, it's always Uno's for me. And I've never been anybody that picked Uno's. I thought you would. Damn it. The next one is Cubs or Sox.
You know what? I don't have a one-word answer. The gut answer is
bandwagon fan.
I'm not a true baseball nerd.
Yeah.
So who's ever in the playoffs, unfortunately, I get on the bandwagon. I'm that guy. I'm the guy.
Chicago fan, man, right?
I like the Sox. I'm from the South Side, but like I had Cub stuff in my room as a kid.
Wow,
I'm the worst person to ask that question to. Yeah, I'm not a real baseball fan. I see it. All right,
Matt. If you happen to run into Horatio Sands and tell him about me, the guy that was shaking him, if he wants to come on the show, tell him to reach out to us.
I will, and I'll come back mid-season. We'll do a little checkup and see what the 500 looks like.
Awesome.
We would love to have you back. Thank you, man. Really appreciate you coming out with us.
Thanks so much for your time, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
You and Fireman Pete. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pete.
Thanks, Walt or Matt.
Pete's sticking, right?
If Pete can stay and hang with us, that'd be awesome.
I'll stick for a couple of minutes. If you hear a bell,
show.
If you hear a bell go off, I have to leave.
It's got to go slide down the pole, huh?
Damn.
Oh, I thought that was a stripper pole in the background there. Never mind.
Well, I did want to run one thing by you guys because I got an idea for the Tampa game. What do you think it is? Because we kind of got beat at halftime. What went on in the locker room? So I thought, what about naked towel boys in the Tampa Bay Buccaneer locker room? And hear me out on this. It could either be towel boys or towel girls, but here's the catch. You'd have indeterminate, you get a makeup artist and you have indeterminate genitalia like Barbie or Ken. So you don't know what you're looking at. So they're coming out of the locker room and they're all having arguments. Was that a guy? Was that a girl? Was it something? All it's supposed to be is confusion and getting them thinking about anything but what's going to happen in the second half. It might cost some money.
And disillusion.
And disillusion. Because they're wondering, how did these people get in there? What is the point of their nakedness? What is the point of their indeterminate genitalia? The whole thing is just it will ruin them. I guarantee it. Right.
They would be looking at them like, wait, there's nothing going on down there. There's no slit. There's nothing hanging. There's nothing going on up here. I'm looking at like a Ken doll, right?
They'll wanna look, but when they do look, it won't solve anything.
Let's let PJ answer.
He leaves. He just bails, man.
He pulled himself.
Did you see his face?
He's pulling the Irish fuck off and just getting out, man.
I'm just asking a question. It's just an idea that just came to me.
Hey, send whatever tally weed that you smoking here, boy. I need.
See, what we do here a lot on this show, Fireman, is if somebody is like going off and they're like, if we say like, okay, what do you think about?
Shut the hell up, Dan. What do you think's going on here? Blah 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 blah.
Somebody starts saying something wrong, we just pull them out like, I had enough of that shit. So like sometimes we pull ourselves if we have to.
Man.
All right. Well, let's just say if they come out and have a bad second half, that's a little wink and a nod between you and me. All right, I gotta go. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Fireman,
clap it up in the chat, y'all. Clap it up in the chat.
Much appreciated, man.
I appreciate you, Fireman Pete.
Take care. Go Bears.
Right, cannot wait to have back on again, Fireman Pete.
Right,
thank you. Have a good night.
What's behind the curtains, Pete? Damn it, I forgot to get Going to PJ. I want to know what was behind those curtains.
Damn.
Freaking epic, guys. Epic. Let's go to this. Are you switching over the screens, Walt, or am I fucking with it? Let's see. Should we do that one?
Nothing.
That one? No. This one? No. Yeah, that one works.
I don't know. I see Veal with the button down. You guys going out tonight or something?
Bro, I literally have jogging pants on. I couldn't find a jersey. My wife wasn't home. I told y'all she does everything. If I can't find it, I'm just gonna find colors. Fuck it all. Right, Shorty? Last week I had the robe on. I don't know what the fuck is going on when these shows are going on. What's up? So if she's not here and prepared, if I can find a hat, because that's usually like, don't touch my hat. But when it comes to clothes, I just be like, fuck it. If she ain't laid it out, if she ain't pointed it out, if she ain't folded it, fuck off.
I'm usually set, Bill. Tonight I'm wearing the 03 Cubs shirt.
Hey, I like Foster style. Anytime I come on, he got the best bomb t-shirts.
Yeah, I got a lot of good ones. It's taken a while to collect them. Wait till you see some of the other ones I got, man. I think one of my favorites, it says, there's a picture of a guy with just a few hairs. He looks kind of like me, and it says, the more hair I lose, the more head I get.
What? Hashtag Foster in the chat for that. Hashtag Foster in the chat.
And then here, I don't know if you guys noticed any of the new setup.
I did too.
Did you see Mongo over there?
Nice, yeah.
It doesn't seem as dark in the background.
Yeah, it looks nice.
My hand, but I got Bedard's jersey.
Love it.
I just want to say, TJ, it was nice to meet you, and thanks for coming on and hanging out with your husband tonight. It was cool.
Thanks for having me.
We thank you for allowing us. Absolutely. Appreciate you guys for allowing us to ask questions and stuff.
No,
try to bring some humor to because that was a fucking depressing ass loss. So I just wanted to bring some humor for you guys and some fun so the chat can talk about the shit, and because that was I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, me too. It's time to move on.
We never even got into discussing what's going to happen this weekend, man. With him,
I'm going to move on.
We'll have a pregame. We'll have a pregame. I mean, I'm talking like I'm the producer of the show. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm but you guys will have a pregame.
Slow down, Mr. Bill.
That's what you said earlier. I was drinking. You was telling me to slow down. I be talking fast. I'm a fast talker. I'm a scammer. That's what the fuck we do around Chicago.
Don't mind when I say
I'm
you
from
hold on. Look at so I'm gonna come and have dinner with you guys, right? I'm putting him on the spot.
Don't say that because she'll have a whole fucking 3 levels, 17 course meal ready and shit. I'll be fucking broke. Anytime somebody wants to come, anytime you guys want to come,
helps everybody on it, man.
Absolutely. Hey, we'll set the basement up and we'll have the whole show here.
So I know you're Downers Grove because even when I read all your stuff, it says Downers Grove right on it. So I know.
Damn, I gotta take that out because PJ might try to take my.
Where I live is like
you gotta worry about Foster.
You guys, where I live is like Elmhurst, Bensonville. It's really not that far from not as far as from Downers Grove as from where I'm sitting in Chicago.
Yeah, we gotta come. We gotta come to that bar one day. One day I want to come and meet you at that bar. Like, especially, it don't even have to be if y'all recording. I want to come and see everybody. I want to meet everybody personally.
You do, and I'm gonna do a couple things from there because I spent some time. I actually got 5 different bars that I can come in anytime with any guests or fans, and they'll just give me a table in my own area to do a show or some questions, and we'll get a couple drinks. And then I got a friend of mine who said, if you do something here, I'll make a bunch of food for these guys. So I've been working on it. I've been trying to do it. And you will be one of the first ones to know when I'm ready, man, so that you can lock in and be there. We'll get you transportation or whatever you need, dude. If you want to have a few drinks, whatever you need, man. Both
did you see, PJ? The one thing about black people that we universally love is free shit and offers and invites.
Dude,
that's just normal people. You don't have to be black to like that shit. I live on that shit.
I'm trying to help you out, bro.
It doesn't matter. It don't matter.
You
Most of
telling
us,
me
like-
you telling me
like
I'm
in my
gonna be in
neighborhood,
jail?
It used to be the
You're gonna
the kids who had everything, and then and they were whatever they were, and then I don't care if you were Asian, African, Hispanic, white. It was just the poor. We were just poor.
you see that
No
paneling
skin
back
color.
there, Bill?
It's just two classes, man. Poor.
You're gonna be
So we would
behind
steal
that
the stuff
paneling
from the rich
buried, bro.
kids and share it between ourselves, man. I'm not kidding you. We used to steal big wheels from the rich kids, and then we pass it along because then
He gonna be on some Jeffrey Dahmer shit?
That's why there's paneling up, because they can easily take it off. It's not drywall. You can just
I'm
put more
trying
body
to tell you,
behind it.
bro.
Back to the John Wayne Gacy story, huh?
I'm trying to tell you,
John
man.
Wayne Gacy, you guys, is from my neighborhood. I walk past his house every day for like 6 years, man.
That was your homie?
Could you smell it?
Yeah, my
Could you
homie.
smell the dead bodies?
Flesh body.
No, you couldn't.
That's
I
got to
was
be a whole
playing right
nother
next door
episode.
at
We
the
got to
Smiths.
figure out why the fuck did you move in that neighborhood?
I was here before him. I was here before Gacy.
Seriously.
Damn. Why the old jokes keep hitting you? STC says Foster been giving free stuff since the Depression.
Before that.
Get him, Foster.
It's
With his no
on
profile.
Egyptian walls and hieroglyphics, and I'm the guy with my hand out.
Bill.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to help you, bro.
Well, then, PJ, you come to my house and then we'll just video his ass while he at the bar. And she gonna cook what we like, and we gonna, be all right, and we'll just enjoy it that way.
I'm telling you.
Damn, I thought it was bad. My parents moved into a former henchman of the mafia, Al Capone's henchman's house. Now you talking about being behind panels and John Wayne Gacy being your homie. I don't know now.
They moved into his house in Maywood.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, man.
We talked about it the
I
last
know the house.
episode. You was on gummies though. You was on gummies.
I know, but you didn't. But you didn't say that was Capone's house last episode because I know the house.
I actually did. I did. I could pull up the edit. Remember, I do editing.
I missed. Dude, this does its own editing and blanks things out. So
it's all you, my homie, Foster.
Well, I'm gonna go and get ready to make lunches and prepare stuff.
You throwing a meatloaf in the oven?
She been drinking everything that's in here, so she.
What did she
you
cook
gotta-
tonight?
the meatloaf goes on in like 40 minutes if you're
This
quick.
is my shut her down and get ready to go.
No. I just want to know what did she
As long
cook
as
tonight?
it's not Malort.
Enchilada.
Enchilada.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Maybe
Next
like
time, take a
this
picture.
big.
Always a
I'm
good
like,
meal, man.
double
They're not-
burrito.
They're not that big.
That's why I said don't say you coming over because she'll cook the whole fucking refrigerator and then I have to go spend another $1,000 on 2 days worth of groceries.
You
The
guys
way
have
you
a
say
good
I don't come empty-handed. That's kind of rude, man.
Bring a lot of water so it can fill
Nice to
your belly.
meet you.
Nice meeting you, TJ.
Speaking of
Take
food,
care.
I made this for last
I'm
show. and
fucking starving.
I forgot
She
to
gonna
play
hit
this.
you in the chat, Kitty. Oh,
Like
This
I
is
said, she
these
got
are
to take a picture.
These are some
gourmet.
Wagyu burgers I made a couple weeks ago. I
Hey,
made the.
same ring.
Yeah, you got the same ring. Oh yeah, no shit.
What's going on with that ring then, man? Why do you guys got the same ring? What kind of? What
It's
is,
very cost efficient compared to our wives. That's what I'll say.
That's
what
the.
I
It's
got
got,
I
none.
can't take mine off. I'm on video. She'll kill me if
I
I
got
take mine
none.
off.
is that tungsten? That tungsten with graphite?
It's the titanium.
Yeah,
But same,
yeah.
probably the same setup. Yeah, it's
Well,
definitely cost efficient versus hers.
Yeah, this one was a little more than I thought that it would be, but hopefully I
got
never
that-
have
I got the same pan, Dan. I got that pan.
the copper pan.
That's a nice
Yeah.
pan.
It works
Got
well.
the exact same
So that-
one, man.
Hey, we look
They
like
do.
we're doing a man cast, but with food. That shit's funny as fuck.
Wait till you see the burgers.
Oh shit! Did you see that play with that twisty on the salt?
Look the way he's putting the pepper in there like that.
Damn! Oh, what a transition!
Yeah.
I can't wait till we're done with the food. I really love the Peoria. What is it? The Bowling Club of Peoria. Isn't it the next segment after the food?
The bowling club of Peoria. A little red
You're
wine.
BCP.
Yeah. Threw a little red wine in there and deglaze the pan with it. Yeah. That's mushrooms,
Hey,
green onions, and peppers.
Sorry, somebody gonna come on this shit after they see that we're still going and be like, "Oh shit, let's see." I see it on Twitter that they're live, and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on?
Where is Matt Walsh?
Where's the Bears talk? We are cooking."
Hey, Doug Van Dorn, that was
This-
red wine.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Matt Walsh
Worcester
making
sauce.
some ragu beef.
It was
Matt Walsh
Doug.
cooking, man.
It was Worcestershire and red wine.
Oh, okay, cool.
I still can't say that. Don't ask me to say that ever.
Worcestershire.
And you know what? If you mix the Worcestershire and the red wine and drink that, it's definitely going to taste better than the Malort.
I'm sure. I call it Worcester. I call it Worcester. It's Worcester sauce.
Worcester.
Worcester.
Worcestershire.
Hey, go hand me that Worcester bullshit.
Call it the W sauce.
Leave my sister out of this.
Here's the there's an important part coming up, Alex, because I did make sound to this, but I figured why listen to me talk? We can just talk while this is playing.
I want to hear you talk. Play that shit.
It takes many years to be a great conversationalist.
We're gonna
Sure
make
ain't
you a
reached that
TikTok
year
star,
yet.
sir. I told you I'm gonna put you into 2023 technology. We're gonna make you a TikTok star.
Sure in here, so we're just gonna kill
off
the bottle. Sure.
Okay. All right.
That's the end of the bottle.
Worcestershire. Nice.
Your patties.
I'll try that.
You're going to want to use a
Worcestershire.
brioche bun for this, and make sure that you butter both sides of the bun, because this is about to get tossed on the grill.
I'm trying to say it 3 pounds
As you can
fast.
see, that Wagyu beef is really fatty.
Spank it.
So what I'm going to do with these, after I
Yeah.
form my patties, is I'm going to
Work
throw
that
them
patty.
in the freezer for about 10 minutes,
Work
just to give
that
them a
patty,
quick
Dan.
last chill. And
Yeah,
that
look out.
will kind of help to recoagulate the fat that is in this meat.
What's the word you
That's
just
my
said?
dog. Sorry, she's wearing a cone.
Recoagulate.
She can't walk in
Man,
the kitchen.
I'm telling you, y'all are
And then-
way more advanced. I told you my wife does everything here.
Get your patties ready. Toss them in the freezer for like 10 minutes, just to kind of recoagulate that fat.
I'm coming to you when
Then
I
we're gonna toss these
barbecue.
on.
More
I
like
need
20
lessons, Shorty.
See, here I'm just saying, like, my grill, I usually don't scrape my grill because I let it, I just heat it up really hot the next time I use it. So it just burns off the crust from the previous. Yeah, because I actually had cleaned this and it was like really rusty. So I had to put a bunch of oil on it and shit. So that's why I literally or usually don't like scrape my grill. I might do a light scrape, but I use it the previous cooking for seasoning. Here we go. I can turn.
I'm gonna take these
So look how the patty is now that you've
Nice.
frozen it for 20 minutes.
parv. I mean, these have been in the freezer for 20 minutes, so you can see they're like much easier to handle now, right? So we're gonna put these on the grill. Look at that. You can grab it like a burger now. Ready? Put it on the grill. High. We're gonna make these medium. We're gonna flip these soon and add the cheese. Right now, this grill is at 500 degrees. They've been on there about 2.5 minutes. But if you're making a burger or a steak, only flip it once. Rotate, yes. Do not flip more than once. So now these guys they got some heat going on them, right? So I'm just gonna do a little rotation station here. You can see that the fat is not building up on the top side of the burger yet, right? So it's not time to flip it yet. Although that looks pretty good. Let me just grab a hold of that.
I don't know how to spell recoagulate.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just going to answer you, Swifty. I put them in the freezer to recoagulate them because they're too fatty.
We're at 550 degrees. This grill is ready to pop.
Look at it. Oh, wait till this flips.
When we
Oh,
flip
look at this.
burger, look at that. You can tell the burger is ready to be flipped by looking at the surface. It's getting nice. Look at that.
Oh,
Look at
yeah.
that char.
Oh, yeah.
okay. Allow that char. Once you close the lid, you throw your cheese on. Now look, we've got these brioche buns. Buttered on both sides. We're going to put these on the side. Pay attention to your buns. Make sure you flip them. You rotate them. You don't want to burn them. That one's almost done. We're done.
Hey, I'm gonna have all type of editing goodiness with
We
this
got
bullshit.
nice crispy buns.
Nice.
This is gonna be fun. This is actually great.
Oh, it's nice and juicy.
Like this is how the show should be.
There's
We
my
should
top.
be naturally ourselves and show off all of our
There's
skills
my-
and
look at that.
have fun because the chat is still
Delicious.
going. I'm talking with the chat and they're very entertained. They're very intrigued. They're asking questions.
My personal
about-
choice. No
I'll shut up while you
condiments.
talk.
No condiments. It's the burger's that damn good. Nothing on it.
No condoms. He eating it raw.
Damn.
Raw dogging it.
It's not quite medium, but with Wagyu,
He eating that Wagyu
Can't mess it
raw.
it's that good.
Pause.
One bite.
I love PJ. That's my dog.
So what you should do is next time your wife's making something real fancy or real good, just film it, dude, and put together a segment. And we'll play
Yeah.
that next time.
For sure. I like that. Like that was a really good like things like that is what I love about natural shows that actually just live and let live. Everybody wants to be overproduced, over buttoned up. That's the way to connect with your audience. That's why you come to BCP, so you can connect with Foster, PJ, and Shorty. And Walt when he comes in and shows his face after they let him out the cage in the back. But these guys give it to you real. The media is too fucking buttoned up in Chicago. I don't want to be too harsh on them, but they're too fucking buttoned up and they're too pessimistic. These guys right here, Shorty, PJ, Foster, and Queen of the North, and all the other ones that come on that aren't on right now that I have to meet later on. These guys are great. The natural shit, the natural bear loving, Chicago loving guys of BCP and gals. I love it. I love coming on. I appreciate being added to this particular show. You've seen how natural they were with Matt Walsh. They weren't all uptight and asking, hey, so, and when did you get your start type of bullshit. Go ahead, Foster.
I want to throw this in too with what you're saying, Bill, because I've had like 7 or 8 people that I've literally met on Twitter or YouTube literally call me on the phone and say, hey man, thanks. I wanna thank you for dragging me into this circle of people that you dragged me into, because they're some of the best people that I've met on the internet, man. And not only that, just like what you're talking about. It's straight up, it's honest bullshit, man. Like Paul Faberski, he doesn't know you, he didn't know Greg, he didn't know anybody. And now he's starting to see all this, man. He was literally, we were on the phone the other night. He goes, man, I never realized that there's that much good content out there. I'm used to what you see on TV or the ESPN and all that crap. So I'm like, no, dude, there's good everything. You just have to look, because nobody's going to tell you the good except for like you're doing now, man. It's little increments here and there where you're going to get the good information. So thank you. Yeah. Thanks, Phil, for shitting that out.
Absolutely. In the chat, the chat, I want to say our because I'm on the show and I feel at home when I come on here, and I appreciate that. But y'all chat is top fucking notch. They're hilarious. They're interactive. They ask questions. They talk amongst each other. They keep it going. They bring other people in. I love you guys' chat. That's why you see me with, like I said, the Forrest Whitaker eye. You be spanking that Wagyu, huh? All right. Can you get the meat out of our face, Paul?
So, Kitty, is this how does this meat actually taste?
Is that what she said? Or is that what she asked?
I'm definitely cutting the clip of that. I'm definitely Oh, this next
Did
week's
PJ
video is
I
gonna be
think-
fire.
I think PJ fell off his chair, guys.
Oh, I wish my wife was in there for that one. That was tough.
Oh.
PJ for the dub. That's what Shorty was talking about. Making sure we're loose and we're hyped and we're ready to go to give these people what they came here for. I love you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. Like,
See the wife,
oh,
your wife
my
even
wife
said
caught
that's
the
her.
joke. Look, my wife
That's
in the
her
chat, she
language.
caught the joke.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell you that, man.
Yeah,
Not the joke, the cooking.
She's huh? Oh,
Not look at the check.
she got a dirty man. All she do is say dirty jokes all the time. I don't know what she's talking about.
Man,
She likes the meat in her face.
Yeah, you got the couch ready for tonight, right? You got your couch ready for tonight?
There might be a little reverse. Whenever I talk about that, I might be more welcomed in the room.
Oh, I was gonna say you.
Right,
I was gonna say so. Wait, now you're getting the meat in your face, literally. Never mind.
I mean, that's
I better
probably
just
what
shut.
you want.
You know what? Here's where I'm at, Bill.
Turning me
I
on.
figured out where I'm at right now, dude. This is where I'm at. This is where I belong
sir.
at this moment.
Oh, Foster and his wives.
Foster and his bodies behind the paneling.
What's behind that 1945 paneling back there?
Raging Oracle saying he's creeping towards that doghouse.
Hey, Swift said R.I.P. Foster. Now he's back in the wall with the rest of the body. Hey, that was scary as shit. That looked oh, that's gonna be another good clip.
Actually, Dan's Burger. I had to go to the bathroom, grab some water. In the meantime, I literally made a fucking burger because of your fucking burger, you asshole.
What does it look like? Let's see
That
it.
boy got Foster got Dominic's bread on that month.
I do.
That bitch look hard to swallow. If he don't put no compliments on that, we might find him as a body in his house. He got that Chicago public school bread on it. Raging Oracle
grade whole wheat
and White
bread.
Castle burgers.
Show the burger. Show the burger. Like, what does the burger look like?
It's
What is like
almost gone.
Right. I'm gonna dump eggs on here again, dude.
It's not breakfast.
I mean, just show the hold up the sandwich and show the side of the
fine.
bite. Oh, that's not bad looking. What is that? A microwave burger? Oh, there you go.
He said that a
Ground, it's ground. It's ground.
You went
it's
off and
ground
cooked the
chuck.
burger?
I did.
Is that an oldie burger?
No, it's ground chuck.
You went and formed a patty?
Mix.
No shit. Where the fuck did you take time to go off and form a patty and cook that shit? I didn't see. What do you have, like a skillet top on your desk there?
He got osmosis with DoorDash or something. What the fuck?
I got a hot plate right next to the thing, and the fridge is over here.
He started buffering and came up with a burger. What the fuck?
It's okay. The French fries are still cooking. The deep fryer wasn't heated up.
We need
enough.
to ask Miss Foster what the fuck is going on over there.
Man.
He got the Jetsons burger maker in the background.
The
Foster
Foster,
boiled the burger.
Bill, just so you know, the Foster is my sister. It's not my wife.
Oh.
That's my sister on the show. She helps us a lot. She does a lot of stuff that you guys wouldn't know about.
We need to ask your sister what's going on over there. How you got?
She wouldn't know
out of
because she's
nowhere,
like
Paul.
200 miles away in Indiana.
And Swift wants whoever popped up on your episode the other day. I thought that y'all was in the same place, but Swift want to know: is that meat cooked or is that human meat?
No.
Dahmer homie.
It's human flesh, ground chuck, and ground.
I knew it. I know human stuff.
I could
What
tell
do you
that.
think's behind the paneling in those jerseys? That's why I got it there. Nobody's gonna touch that shit.
Yeah.
My meat stash.
Clips, and
Yeah, we gonna stay far away from that neighborhood.
Hey, Foster, paint your room. Paint your room.
I'm scared. I'm
Hold
scared.
on,
I'm
man.
scared.
Bill, check this out.
We don't want to incriminate him.
No, because it's Pete. It's not the same, man.
What?
It's still kind of a mess, but it's not the same.
Bill.
Yeah. Oh goodness, what the fuck is going on?
Have you ever rehabbed that entire house from the roof to the foundation?
I don't blame you, bro. I get it.
You don't want to.
The bodies,
No,
bro. That's what
I'm lazy as fuck. I pay everybody for what I would.
That's how
Like,
he can hide the bodies, bro. That's what I'm telling you. That's how he can hide
There
the
was
bodies.
there was no floor.
Yeah, it's filled with tools, man. It's filled with
And
tools.
bodies underneath.
Oh man, Cliff's saying, wait, go back to that. Cliff's saying, I just took the beer brats off the stove, simmered them in beer, butter and pepper, and then they just need to be caramelized on the grill. Yes, I
Every
love that.
episode I've come on, y'all giving a straight fucking recipe. Every time I come on, I need to be taking notes because I can't cook for shit unless it has instructions on the back of the packet.
But can
So
you
I'm
butter
gonna have
bread though?
But I don't do butter bread.
I say, can you butter bread?
Oh yeah, I can do all this. All the shit that we was taught as kids. Yeah, I got that shit on lock.
Can you toss some salad?
Pause. Hold on. I gotta make sure we're going in the right direction.
No, PJ, Bill, I heard about this. PJ, he can toss salad right out the fucking window.
Now you talking my wife's language.
Bears, man.
Thank you, Queen of the North. Pause. Extra pause. 2 times the pause. Hit the pause rewind button. Delete. Pause.
What the hell, PJ?
Hey Mo, yes it did. Mo in the chat said that went way wrong.
It usually does too.
See, this is what we get when we get all together and shit together. I'm coming to join the team. Shorty trying to recruit me for the team. We gonna make this happen every fucking week. What are you drinking? What is that gas station energy drink? What the fuck is that you drink?
It's a fucking seltzer. It's a Bud Light.
Is it zero sugar? What the fuck?
Yeah, it is. It's how I keep my girlish figure.
Zero sugar and zero taste.
Hey, I'm making fun of you like I ain't got one right here, Shorty. Like I ain't got... That's why I was laughing.
You know what's up?
In the middle of the show, I was like,
you're like,
yeah, I don't want you right. I don't want you to see the pink label. And I tried to hide it with the bottle in front of me, like,
I tell you what, man, we got a soda stream, and I've been drinking that the whole show. So I bought one for this Florida property, but at home we have one, and I actually rigged it to hook up to like a 5-gallon, like a 10-gallon CO2 tank, bro. So we just got soda water for a year, dude. And it's awesome. Just drinking straight up soda water is really refreshing, man. With nothing in it is really refreshing.
I'm just showing this because Ray didn't ask you if the
convince
grapefruit
yourself
drink.
of that, aren't you?
What's that?
I said you're really trying to convince yourself of that, aren't you?
No, it is. It's really refreshing.
Dude, I'm just being a smart ass. Drinking soda water is really refreshing.
It is. No, because when we got it, my wife's like, "Oh, I just like to drink this by itself all day long." And I'm like,
even ask me for a fucking explanation.
Did she sound like that for real?
Yeah.
I hope she's not watching. She gonna get you for that mark.
Yeah, she is. She's like,
divorce papers. The papers are already signed, Bill. He just signed them. She signed them.
I'll send you the link in a second, Bearsky. Hold on. My wife's like, okay, let me do my wife. I just love to drink soda water just by itself because it's just so refreshing.
Get used to that couch, bud.
It's hard for her to say it, but the way
I don't
you
have a
just said
soda
it,
stream
it's
here.
not even
What am I
funny.
going to do? So I'm like, fuck it. I just bought her a soda stream. So now we have a soda stream here too. And now I'm like, fuck it. I like this. I like that. You got me hooked on it, hun. Soda water by itself is actually very good.
Oh, TJ, what are we going to do with these guys?
Hey, your wife just put the meanest looking emoji I ever seen in my motherfucking life in the chat. You better watch out. You ain't gonna have to worry about no fucking hurricane like you had the other week. The hurricane is coming for you right now.
Hurricane Kitty.
Blowing through Atlanta at this moment.
Hurricane Kitty.
Hurricane Kitty. Oh, wait, that sounds bad too.
It was terrible of me to act like my wife.
Splash. Splash. Here comes the splitty
How am I
can.
gonna drink my water? No, that's not how my wife is.
You talking about water,
terrible
kitty cat,
impersonation of your
hurricane, water, splash. Pause. You gotta,
Go back to dancing.
Yeah, go back to
dancing.
dancing.
Don't even try impersonations.
Kick the show back off.
No.
Guys, Bearski has
Bearski
has a film that he has a little video he'd like to share with us. You guys want to see it?
Some clippage.
Absolutely. Hey Bearski, hey Paulski, how you doing? Is he coming on? Yeah.
Quick throw here, though. Claypool dropped it. And I think it got tipped here by Enek Barre. Yeah, you can see why it kind of... 6. On the give, that's going to go nowhere. Fields underneath to Mooney.
Best plays, Raging Oracle says.
So fucking awesome.
Oh, Paulski was pissed off about that damn block.
Yeah. Roshan was the player of the game for me, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
2nd and 11. Fields, pressure on his face, throws high. Claypool gets it.
Oh, this play. No, I thought that was the shitty block right there on Claypool.
2nd and 10.
Every block Claypool made was shitty. He made him when he could even.
Thank you for sharing that, Paulski. Bearski.
Thanks, Paulie.
Is he on the show here?
Yeah, I thought he said he was gonna come on and do
No,
it.
leave him alone. I can't do it, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with the game myself. That was a good video. That was cool. We had some highlights. Let's move on.
Yeah.
But he can come on. I'm not saying he can't come on. I just don't want to talk about the goddamn bullshit.
All right, it's the Phil Show with Foster, Dan, and PJ.
No, it's the Foster Show.
No,
with the body. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Nope, that ain't a show, man. Never happening.
What the fuck are you doing, Paulski?
Man.
Y'all creepy as fuck today. What's going on with you?
Hold on, give me a sec. I still need a sec.
You gotta hide the body? What's going on?
I don't even know what we're doing anymore.
You asked to come on, sir. What's going on?
I did not. Dan told me I had to.
There we go. Sorry, guys. I still need another second.
I didn't think.
What am I doing? I'm calling it like it is with Chase Claypool. I'm so fucking sick of that guy. And dude, I've been on this train for a while now, and it's just proving itself more and more and more right. I've called into ESPN 1000, told them like, hey, I don't really understand what this guy's done to her in a spot, and I don't see how he's going to improve in this offense if he's not participating in the offseason. And I even went as far as, like, I know I said I'd light myself on fire if we lost week 1, and I clearly didn't do that.
No, but I wanted to see you holding Dan's hand on the way down, though. You did say that too.
Yeah. But I also said that if I'm wrong about Chase Claypool, I will go out there and buy the clothes that he's modeling in Paris. I will dress up in them, and I'll fucking buy 100 level seat tickets and fucking sit there and wear his fucking fashion and shit and
Please
totally
no.
support him if he produces. But the
Please,
guy
no.
fucking sucks, man.
Please no.
One game, just be
Please.
patient there. Give him a little bit more time than one game.
No.
You can wear it on the
Believe
shot.
me, I'm not happy with his
7 games,
performance either.
140 yards last year. I'm out
not
of
happy
patience,
with
man.
his performance as a Bear either.
His
Take
leash
a
was
drink,
the
Frosty. Calm
shortest.
down.
Come off the edge,
I'm
bud.
with you, Bill. I'm with you, Bill.
Hey, I had an idea and I presented it to Sciorty, and I think me and him so far are the only ones that drink. That after bad losses, to kind of wipe the taste of the bad taste out of the mouth of the loss, we would do a Malort shot to punish ourselves for believing. What do you
I'd
think?
rather drive to Green Bay and get naked in Lambeau Field.
I mean,
I might rather do that than fucking Malort.
I mean, the ladies
what
in
I'm
the
saying.
chat might like that. Foster, the ladies in the chat might like that.
No, they probably won't.
Bill, you got to be
We
in
can
Chicago.
open up
I
an
know you're-
OnlyFans for you. We can open up OnlyFans for you for that. But
I went to a party
DJ
once
has had
where the
enough with
entry
y'all
fee,
nudity.
I'm
the
just saying.
entry fee to the party was to do a shot of Malort.
Papa Smurf being naked isn't fun.
I mean, it isn't
In
fun
Green
unless
Bay.
you're confident.
That's how much I don't like Malort, because I don't need to ever drink that shit again. Like I said, I'll just go get some.
You guys are
some gasoline.
the
Then I might as
anti-
well just light myself on fire too.
Did you just?
There you go.
What
There
was
you go,
this?
Foster.
the anticipation you guys are giving me of this Malort. I honestly cannot wait to try it. Yeah,
I can't
that's-
wait to see your reaction.
Yeah, I want you
Exactly,
to film that.
Polsky.
I
That's the
want you to
reaction
film
right
that.
there.
What the fuck?
It's got to be filmed, Dan.
I will.
We got
I'll
to
say
see.
Even if
There's
you
some
do a
things
shot
that
and you run
Sciorty-
to the bathroom, the camera's got to go with you.
There's some things that Sciorty hasn't experienced, like fantasy football and Malort. So we got to get that all together in like one show, hopefully, and get them together and shit. Because he's not experienced everything that we were at. Like he's about down here. We got to get him up to here, and especially with the dancing, we got to figure that out too. But
If we go 0-2, we're as good as fucking 0-3 because we faced the Chiefs in week 3. Dude, I'll chug Malort.
Why?
I'll just chug it. All the feeling will just leave my body. I won't even feel it because the pain of the Bears going 0-3 this year will be so much greater than any fucking dirty, nasty alcohol.
We need Malort to have feeling back again.
y'all ain't tell me my motherfucking camera got drunk off Malort. Goddamn, it didn't fail.
Mo
Seriously
Beard is
though.
saying,
Seriously
Mo
though.
Beard
You
is
guys
saying
understand that we're in a situation where week 2 is a must fucking win? This is crazy. I love the NFL. That's why I love the NFL. But
Hey, Polsky, calm down. Calm down. Hold on. Calm
Dog
down.
eye drop. I'll be right back.
Calm down, man. It's not a must
Don't do it,
win
Dan.
yet. Just calm down.
Where's
Hold
your
your
cup? Where's
horses.
your cup? Where's your cup, Polsky?
Mo, hold on, guys. Mo, to answer your question, the first shot that I ever do of Malort will be on this show, so you guys can see my face. I won't even. I'll want to try it so bad when I get it, but I'm gonna save it just so I can get the real time reaction.
You seen Matt and Matt Walsh and Fireman Pete's face. You're either gonna be stuck in a time warp, or you're gonna have a beer.
PJ.
Yeah.
What's that say up at the top left corner right there? Prediction 11-6. Dude, I tried to call Sciorty out on it. You know what he did? He hid behind you guys. He said, no. This was a team projection.
His projection was 12-5.
Yeah. Mine was 10-6. I don't remember. PJ, did you even say what they were going to be, or did we just?
I can tell you now after preseason.
Yeah.
No,
I meant when we did this.
No.
Because we just voted on the teams. I don't remember everybody giving an actual record.
Well, see, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was under the assumption that we was gonna be playing our starters a lot more in the preseason to get them like used to each other, get them to where they can know each other, get the cohesion, all that stuff working together. So after watching the lack of continuity in the preseason, my whole thing changed because I'm like, it's going to take us 3 weeks before we even on the same page together.
Yeah,
Hey, I just got to give credit to you, PJ, and I got to give credit to you, Foster. When I last time I came on, or maybe the time before the last, I asked you guys for some bold predictions. PJ, your bold prediction was that we will have at least 2 1,000-yard receivers this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I met up with Deke's View just before week 1 at Soldier Field, and his bold prediction on offense was that we will have 5 500-yard or more receivers, which kind of almost mimicked your bold prediction in a way. I think yours is actually more. I'm not sure which one is more realistic, but still, he kind of had the same idea as you. And then Foster, I got to give you credit because your bold prediction was Roschon Johnson will start by week. I don't know. You went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Maybe amnesia had something to do with it. But regardless, you're right. At some point, that kid's going to be fucking number 1. Yeah. Hey, Shorty, I like your dog. Yeah, dude, I think it's sooner. Bill, I think it's sooner.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. After that one,
like Sunday, I'm not even going to say he's going to start, but I bet you he gets a lot more, gets to be involved in the offense a lot more than he did and not as late.
You guys understood. He put up his stat line in just about a quarter of play.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is my poor pup with the scratched eye. She finally gets to have her cone off for 10 minutes. So I figured I'd put her in my lap so she could enjoy not having her fucking cone on. You know, in a month and a half of wearing a cone, this poor dog.
I was trying to do this before, but I got to give you my Malord story. My Malord. 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 I call it Malord because I will never drink Malord. So we started and we're drinking Malord, like 5 or 6, 7 shots of that because I'm sitting with the wrong people, right? So then we transitioned into Sambuca, and we finished a bottle of Malord. We finished 2 bottles of Sambuca, and I literally got in my car and drove to my apartment. And I lived on the 3rd floor on the near north side of Chicago. So I'm looking up at the apartment. It's about 1:30 in the morning. I'm looking up at the apartment. I'm like, no fucking way. So I just pass out in my car, right? Sun comes up the next morning about 6:15. I wake up in my car with the doors open. The change thing ripped off my dash, the money taken out of my pocket, and a stolen car battery. That's my Malord story.
You're lucky, man. If we were PJ or Phil, it would have gone so much.
He didn't get killed. What?
Yeah. Dude, like it's Chicago. You should expect that.
That was 40 years ago, man.
This place is crazy, man. This place is crazy.
It was a lot different. Really is. A lot.
But I man, I don't know. I got to tell you guys, this is an interesting way to start a season for sure. We're so confident coming into this thing, and the Packers are so weak. They're the youngest team in the league, which means they're the most inexperienced team in the league, and we just let them walk all over us. It felt so bad, and you could put the finger at a lot of different places, but man, at the end of the day, they either clean it up or they don't.
Definitely put the finger in a lot of different places. That's for sure.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they either clean it up or they don't. That's why week 2 is so huge for us. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger than it should be, Paulie. It shouldn't be this important, but it is.
Just put the fucking game behind us. What do you guys think about this week?
Bill?
What this week? I'm trying to ignore Paulsky because he's putting me into depression, and I know that Foster was already pre-depressed because of the goddamn all 22 he had to watch for us. I'm trying to be more optimistic, seeing as though we're going against Baker Mayfield, but that didn't work because I got to wear egg on my face too because my prediction was Jordan Love would be kind of stuck in the mud and will be rattled because I'm figuring that we're going to press up and at least try to make him throw the ball, but we couldn't even stop the run. So I'm going to be still remain optimistic because there was only one game, as we've all said several times today. So I hopefully it could be a close, tight win, like a 21-17 type of joint where the defenses actually kind of clash. Because I don't think Rashad White is that dynamic of a running back, especially not as dynamic as a Aaron Jones. So I don't foresee their run game really pushing well. And even though they beat Minnesota Vikings defense is just as suspect as ours. So hopefully they change the game plan and get back to what we were doing well last year, at least to get us to the bye. Then you can try to re-implement some of those passing concepts and different ideology that you might have wanted to try in week one. But get back to what Fields does best and the offense does best, because now we have a dynamic wide receiver one that could catch out of the backfield, catch wide receiver screens, go deep. He can do it all. So hopefully they change the game more vertically and push that run game, because we were down 7-6 or 17-6 for most of the game. So keep pushing the run, keep trying to push it downfield. You already have seen and witnessed a dead offense, so might as well give it a try. You've already witnessed us with turnovers that killed the game too. You've already witnessed us go for three third and short and turn the ball over. So what worse can happen? Just try. Just get it downfield. Use these receivers we traded for and drafted, and see where we can go. The defensive side, I have no fucking hope. Sorry.
At least go down swinging though, right?
Yeah, go down scoring. We at least scored 20 points, and that's the key. Like, we scored 20 points. Like, there's a lot of opportunities left on the board if we would have adjusted after halftime.
Polsky's video is doing some.
He got that Nintendo Wi-Fi like that. He got that I need to blow in the cartridge Wi-Fi. What?
Man.
He's snorting a line off of his phone right now, and that's what we saw.
He got that. I didn't pay for the porn yet in the late 80s. I'm sorry. I've been drinking. My wife was down here hyping me up. I'm sorry. Cliff said dial up. Fuck.
If you're sorry, I should be really sorry. Like, what are you sorry for?
Hey, last week I was on with Official J and Deeks, like you said you just met, and my Wi-Fi started fucking up crazy. It was just like like I was doing a robot, and then it cut out, and like all I could hear them was on my tablet. I had it going on the tablet too, and it actually was doing better than my phone. And they was like, I think we just fucking lost Bill. And they kept going on with the show like I wasn't shit. And I don't blame them, because I wasn't really providing anything anyway. When I was in the middle of my conversation, it was the most embarrassing. I was sweating and shit, because those guys are awesome. Like, all of those guys, Deeks, it was Nick from official. He called it Jay, just another year, and all of those. And I'm just like, back on her.
If that was your most embarrassing moment, you have no idea what fish jello is, then.
I wanted to talk about that shit. What the fuck is that? Can anybody bring that up or post that shit?
No, don't bring it up. I'm sorry I even mentioned it. Just cut that.
That shit looked like it came out of an ass and was recycled and made a dessert.
Dude, that was my Christmas every year as a child.
And y'all enjoyed that shit, or was it just decoration?
I know. I mean, I didn't, but yeah, my family did.
So was they like, oh shit, Becky, can you bring the fucking fish jello with the chicken in it? That's how it was, how conversation was?
Yeah, I had no idea there was even chicken in jello. I actually just went to go buy some bread at my local Polish store, and I looked down, and once you know it, chicken jello, pork jello. I was like, I got to take a picture of this.
Bro, and it's multiple meats that they put in this shit. Like, oh, you know what the fuck we should try to have?
I guess my fucking people just jello everything, man. I don't know, dude.
Right. Putting your meats and shit. Hey, Walt wants to talk about. That's my guy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been sitting holding my tongue the whole game. BJ, I got to ask you, man, are you going to die on this preseason hill?
Yep.
Okay, I just had to ask because like I'm looking at it, and you have to see like these other teams won games, and their starters didn't play. So I mean, your argument is like if I go into work tomorrow and I forget how to do like write an email.
My argument is we had the worst. We had the worst record last year, and we chose not to play our starters in the preseason. So we don't have nothing to which to build from. Whereas other teams had a better record, they can afford not to play their starters. We don't. We have all these new players coming in.
What's it gonna change?
What is it going to change? It's going to
Yeah,
change that. I know which way my left guard, my right guard is moving when I go this way. If I'm the right guy.
Sorry.
But if I don't have this continuity with them, because I don't get a chance to play with them in a real season, real games, I don't know what's going on. So therefore, yeah, I don't know and don't have that continuity. So yeah, I'm failing until about the fourth game to where we finally figured it out what we're supposed to be doing.
Okay. Now, I'm assuming your blocking assignments are done over in practice, right? And it's something that you would normally do at your position. And I think you made a comment earlier in the show, too, that something about, it's not the Packers. Your lineman can't mirror the Packers. Well, what the hell's the difference if you're playing another team?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, yes, you did. You went off, or somebody said that.
Did
you say it?
I said my practice players cannot be who the Packers are in a game situation because they're not the Packers in a game situation.
Yeah, but neither is the other team. So the argument is moot.
My argument is this: they need to get more continuity, and that's why I just keep saying over and over. It doesn't matter anyways, because these first two games are just like preseason games because they're not together. They're not on the same page. Not the coaching staff, not the players. Nobody, hardly anybody's on the right page. They are for spots, bits and pieces, man. But go back and watch all of that, all 22. Split it up into offense and defense, and watch every play like 2 or 3 times, and you'll start seeing stuff.
That.
Okay, well then you should know what I'm talking about with this. There's no consistency.
The problem is
they don't know each other well.
The first 2 games are not preseason games. They're real season games. If you go 0-2 and you fake the team for week 3, you're going 0-3. If you go 0-3, go ahead and look up your percentage chances of making the playoffs.
Do you see why I'm saying it?
It's not preseason. It's real season. And it's year 3 for the quarterback.
They don't know each other. They've been doing the practice and the reps all day long. And I know, Walt, you're going to say other teams won games. That's fine, sure. If you take out like 5 players, we're by far the youngest in the NFL. Pull out the guy, Mercedes, and the long snapper and the punter and the kicker. One other guy. I think there's 6 guys. If you take them out, we're like 24 3/4 of a year old as a team.
Yeah, but the Packers are younger.
No, they're like 25 1/4. I said if you pull out like 6 guys, if you pull out 6 guys out of the Bears, you're taking out a 37-year-old, a 35-year-old, a 33-year-old, and a 31-year-old.
So a quarter of the team.
Take out Cody Whitehair, and we're younger than the Packers for sure.
If we get rid of you, we're a lot younger.
That's easy to do, man. I'll do it myself.
I'm just saying that, Foster. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like, you got to have a good mix of young and old because it's experience and inexperience. And to be honest with you, we're one of the most inexperienced and youngest teams, but the Packers are the youngest and the most inexperienced, and they walked all over.
On paper, I didn't see Mercedes Lewis on the field once. That takes off 10 years off our age.
Yeah, I know. I get the continuity.
It's a combination of things, dude. It ain't just that. It ain't just that.
You want guys to, build a relationship. Now you can do that 2 ways. Even if the preseason exists, you can still build a relationship with your guys. Now, in terms of blocking assignments, that's a regular thing. You don't need to do it in a game. You should learn it that's your job. That's your whole fucking job.
Oh, let me ask you a question regarding that, Walt.
Go ahead.
If the Bears are practicing, according to you, they're practicing in practice against their team. So if we're only practicing against a 4-3 because that's what we run, so now we're faced with a 3-4 in Green Bay. Do not your blocking assignments change?
Yes, of course. Your blocking assignments are going to change. But
So-
what you do as a coach is you have your second line offense switch it up and mimic what you're going to go up against. That's
Okay.
what I'm
Right.
saying.
Mimic.
That's coaching 101.
Okay, but so my point is, when this person is mimicking what the Green Bay's supposed to be, what they might be doing, they're probably going about 60%, as opposed to if you're actually playing in a preseason game, those players while they're going 100%. So the speed of the game is a lot faster. So therefore, you would have a different look and react differently. So if you're never playing in that preseason game, you don't know what it's like to go 100%, because in practice, you're not going 100% like that against these different fronts. So if you have a rookie in right who only played one quarter, he's not ready. You got a right guard who's never played no preseason snaps. He's not ready. So all these things are a combination of not being ready because they didn't get a chance to play in the preseason. Granted, due to injury, due to these other things, but it's not happening. So we're now not going to get up to par to about the fourth game. That's my whole point. I mean, I'm not saying it's never going to be fixable, but we probably won't be able to catch up until about the fourth game because we're just not with the continuity there yet.
Yeah, but it sounds like from what you're saying is that I just pulled some random homeless guy off the street and threw him into a right guard position. That's not the case. These guys have been playing for many years, not even just the NFL, but in college. Yes, the speed of the game is different. I'm not saying that at all, but the job itself is still the same, whether you're doing it at 100%, 60%, 200%.
But Walt, in that case, I mean, I look at Nate Davis and Chase Claypool as being very, very similar situations. And in that case, the leash is very short. And PJ, to your credit, you're the only one I've heard voice any kind of concern over Wright.
What about
Everybody's
Nate
got him as a
Davis?
lock because he's a number, 10th overall pick. And you're the only one that's been like, hey, not only did he drop 30 pounds, but he has to now play in the NFL, which is a huge, huge hill to climb. But you can't just give these guys a pass because they're experienced. At the end of the day, the production is the production. Like, I am so sick of Claypool. The video I shared with you guys is just Claypool torching the game. And although some people bring up the fact like, oh, well, there's still other plays to be made and this and that and blah, 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 or the scheme wasn't great or this and that. At the end of the day, it was 7-6, then it was 10-6, 17-6, 24-6. We're talking about 3 or 4 possessions in a row that went 3 and outs. One of them was a fumble. One of them was a pick six, which is 100% on Justin Fields, in my opinion. I love Justin Fields, but in my opinion, it's 100% on him throwing that pick six. And you could say, okay, well, the inability to have any kind of success in the first half kind of led him towards pressing a little bit more and throwing that pick six. Yes, it did. That's exactly right. And the scheme didn't help and everything didn't help. But at the end of the day, that ball leaves his hand, whether it's a fumble or whether it's an interception. That's on him. And we're asking this kid to do the impossible because he's getting no help anywhere. And of course he's going to fail. Of course he's going to throw a pick. Of course he's going to fumble. He's literally trying to be a one-man team, and it's due to things like Chase Claypool sitting there just butchering. I mean, okay, not only was he thrown to twice and dropped twice, and granted, if we're going to get detailed on that second shallow cross, as soon as he cleared that linebacker, that ball should have been out. But it wasn't. There was a little bit of hesitation, and that ball was thrown at a point where that corner can come in. And not only was it thrown high, so Chase Claypool has to reach up.
Polsky, I'm sorry
to open to a hit, but that corner's coming in to just hit him. And so that's not the best situation to catch a ball, and that's on Fields. But at the end of the day, that was mistake number 8 for Chase Claypool.
I have an obligation to fill from our sponsors. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I've gone way past it.
I'm done.
Greetings. I'm Dr. Dick Richards. You may know my brother Chim Richards from the iconic film Anchorman, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about my revolutionary new product, Drippy Dicks. Have you ever thought you were done going pee-pee, and then suddenly you found...
Dr. Dick, the camera's to your left.
Oh, I'm totally interested.
Damn it. You told me the camera was to my right. Have you ever thought you were done going pee-pee? Only moments later to find a drip or 2 or 3 in your underwear? Perhaps even saturated through to your outerwear? Have you ever felt ashamed?
Constantly.
Well, feel ashamed no more. Even the iconic legendary musician Elvis Presley has had his own share of drippy dick. For all the males and the they, them, their, though, thou arts out there. Anyone with a dick. I've invented a revolutionary patented design called Drippy Dicks.
How much?
Not only will it prevent your outerwear from becoming saturated, but also your innerwear. Here's how it works. Our state-of-the-art patented design can absorb up to 2.5 cups of pee-pee. Simply remove the plastic from the adhesive side. Place adhesive side down in your banana hammock. Nobody wants a sticky pee-pee. We're trying to prevent a drippy pee-pee. Just watch Drippy Dicks go to work. The banana hammock is still dry. Just look at that absorption. That's the patented design of Drippy Dicks. Drippy Dicks. Made by a dick, for a dick.
Just we had to get that word in there from our sponsors, guys. Sorry to interrupt you. Getting paid for that, so
we need a new
go
sponsor,
I want to address real quick. I don't know.
Drippy Dicks today, guys.
Oh yeah, wipey dicks. Pause. One thing while Depression Paulsky was going off, Cliff was talking about. Cliff. I'm going up to a quote where he said we should have wrote the D. Look, I don't know if anybody caught that. I was laughing because I was trying to find anything to laugh at because Paulsky was depressing us about Claypool and all the bullshit that went on. But he had another good quote about Fields and stating that Fields did not progress in getting the ball out. That did not happen. Like that was false. He got the ball out at a rate of 2.38 seconds per pass when there was a clear pocket. He was 16 of 22 for 133 yards from the first quarter to the third quarter. Once they were down multiple touchdowns, the plays become much longer because you're trying to get further downfield. So then it looks like he's holding the ball longer because there was a drastic change. Because remember, there were 15 screens. So the ball was coming out. And then when there weren't screens, he was going through progressions, dropping it off to. They were not checkdowns. There's a difference between checkdowns and going to your out or a tight end that's going on an out or a crosser or something like that. There were several times through the first and third quarter where he showed that he was willing to get the ball out on a timely manner. That's why quarterback school, if you go to quarterback school, I forgot his actual name, but at quarterback school, they're sorry.
JT Sullivan?
JT O'Sullivan, yeah.
Thank you guys. But great guy. Great breakdown. He was right all the way through. But even him himself, he stated that Fields in the beginning of the game was getting the ball out. He was doing what we asked him to do last year. Take what the defense gave you, because that's what they were doing, giving you everything up front, and all they had to do was stand still because they were doing horizontal game plan and at the line. So he was getting the ball out. He spread it around pretty well. It just wasn't efficient because the game plan wasn't efficient. So when they finally started doing every once in a while, throwing in a play where they pointed out that Fields missed this guy going this way, but his progression started over here. Like DJ Moore was wide open, but his progression is over here. By the time he got to here, it was too late. Yes, he was wide open. Yes, he had a clean pocket, but his progression went right to left. He's in his second year of this offense. Last year, the offense for 3 games was trash when we tried to do passing game because the O-line was trash. Then his wide receivers were trash. So then we come out of week 5 or so, and we turn to a drastically changed run game where we led with the run game. So for the rest of the year, The plan was to run Fields 15 times, run Herbert 15 times, run Montgomery 15 times, and throw a pass here or there and a deep bomb here or there. You didn't see none of that. None of that. Then we come out again this year trying to do the same shit that we were doing last year, the first 2-3 games. Remember the Washington game? How? Can I let me finish this?
Nobody
I got you.
Only you answered the question. Nobody else has even answered the other question. We're still waiting on from 10 minutes ago. I don't know if everybody realizes this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Walsh jumped in. We were asked a question.
No, you're right.
And I'm trying to wait to get the answer. Now I've been sitting here for 10 minutes and I can't remember what the hell the question was. About next season. I'm just saying, man.
You're right, Bill. You're right, Bill. You started off
back and
repeating
forth, and we're not getting the stuff we're talking about because I can't be here all night tonight, guys. Sorry, that too, man.
Sorry, I got another 5-10 minutes. I just want Bill to finish up his point. And I just want to just answer it. But you're right, Bill. You're totally right. We're repeating coaching-wise the same exact thing we did last year. And why? Because that style of offense has proven in the past to be very successful. You need a quarterback at the quarterback position. Listen, if we're gonna realistically, if we're gonna get wins on this team, we have to do the style that they learned after week 5, week 6 last year. We have to be a dominant running team. We have to control the clock. Our defense sucks. So like we have to be. We're really one-dimensional in a way when we do that. So the hope is that this kid has progressed at the quarterback position to the point where you can go out and just run a simple offense. They didn't do anything complicated. And I saw the J.T. Sullivan film. I watched it all. And he's right in a lot of ways, but he's also wrong in a lot of ways because the information that we don't have is the game plan itself. They sit there and they talk about all this stuff, but what is the actual idea here? What actually are you trying to get done? I was so disappointed that there wasn't even a deep post. Like, how is Fields not able to throw a deep post? How is Fields not able to sit here and just pull the trigger on some of these easy deep down completions and sit there? I get the plays being called, but let's not act like there weren't opportunities.
You see Mooney jumping up and down here as he's looking at him and throwing the ball and gets sacked.
Dude, I'm Fields' biggest fan. I'm not biggest fan. The little kid is, but I'm such a big Field supporter. But there's certain concern, like he cannot manipulate a pocket. He's super quick, but it's always to the edges. Like why can't you manipulate a pocket by yourself sometime and hit some deep open routes? But I will start blaming coaching next week and the week after that if they repeat this style. But I will not blame them for opening the season and trying to play football like football should be played.
Well said. Are you done?
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, that's my overall idea. Like, at the end of the day, you got to at least open up the game plan with, I don't know, this guy coached Aaron Rodgers.
So how is that not coaching?
Well, because
you say you
probably.
got to open. Let me finish my question.
The guy
you say you have, if you have to finish, I mean, if you have to open up the field, isn't that on coaching to call the plays to open up the field?
I think there's plenty of blame to go around everywhere.
That was a direct question, though.
$2 super chat from Retro. Let me end the show. Rub one out. Go to sleep.
The game plan was not suited to Fields' abilities. It was not the right game plan to run. Also, Fields had opportunities that he missed. Also, coaching is partially to blame, but I will blame coaching more if they keep repeating it.
Reset throw.
I just want him to get rid of the ball like this.
Turn
boom, boom, boom. Here's that Mooney play.
Vacuum plays.
What's that?
Tyson Bajan with those vacuum
5
plays.
straight, turn 6 7.
Dude, just it's the flick, it's the sling of the ball right there. If you take that,
you're removing the context from
5
the
straight,
play,
turn 6
I'm not.
7.
You take that and if you put that on this play, the ball's gone right there. The ball's gone to jumping up and down.
That's false because that I'm sorry, 95 was on him much faster than that previous flick.
Right
Compare it.
here.
I'm telling you, compare it.
The
Like,
ball
you
should
can't
come out
compare.
right here.
Right.
Right there is where the ball should have come out. Not
There,
when he
no,
was.
He hasn't even planted his back foot yet.
You just pressed play and the guy was right there. That's how quick he slipped that block.
He didn't plant his back foot yet.
Right there, he did. Right there.
Boom.
He should have planted his back.
He throws that ball at the ground.
If he throws the ball
That's
right
the play
there,
that I was telling you earlier that he
getting
looked to
knocked out.
throw. Like, go to the other angle because you have the other angle where he was throwing the ball that way. He got hit and the ball got loose after he hit the ground.
Right.
You have the other angle.
Yeah.
Look,
okay.
look at this
So
angle. This is what I was trying to. Go ahead. I'm
Here's
sorry.
what I'm going to say. When he needs right, the ball needs to come out right here. So he's already one extra step into the drop.
According to
me.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
if you bam and you're gone right there, the ball is gone, and it's on its way to Mooney.
I think
right there.
I think we have to compare apples to apples on this because if he's supposed to have a 5-step drop as opposed to a 3-step drop, as soon as he reaches that back foot, the guy is on him within a second. As soon as he hit that last step on his back foot, the guy is on him. Boom, there he is. You can't.
But actually, pause it right there. Pause it.
Exactly. Right here.
Pause it right there. That's not DJ Moore. Isn't even a read. Look in the middle of the field. Look in the middle. Who's next to the top receiver? Look at where Fields is looking right now. He was looking to split. Look in the second. Okay, whoever's at the top and whoever's the next person down. Look at the safety. Look at what he wanted to throw to. Look at the streaking receiver that if he got able to throw it downfield, that would have been the better look. That's who he's looking at. He didn't have time to throw that. So while everybody is talking about the one that went up and out, the second guy down was actually the guy he should have went to. Look at the safety. He is looking down and he is turning around.
Isn't that Mooney?
I don't know. I can't say. It's grainy.
That's Mooney.
Sorry.
It's Mooney.
Yeah.
So right here, he took like a double step. So like he drops
has
back.
To load up. You have to load. You can't just throw it off your. Like he said, he's not on his back
5
foot.
straight.
This guy doesn't have to load it up. It just comes right out.
Because he's throwing it out. He has to throw it deeper. That's a 40 to 50-yard bomb he would have to throw.
That's the quick release. That's the quick release that feels black.
About the quick release.
It forces him
We're
to play.
talking about. I'm not talking about the out. When you load up and you have to go deep here, you have to throw it deeper. You can't have a quick release falling off your back foot when you have to make sure it goes out and past the defense. That's not a quick. You're talking about the quick release that went up and out. I'm talking about the second receiver down.
5.
He was.
That's the 5th step. The ball should be out right now.
He's looking.
Leading the receiver already.
Okay, right there.
He's looking at the second receiver down. Look where he's looking at. Look at the receiver out there. He's about to beat he's about to split the 2 defenders.
He's open now.
He's almost at the 50 now. That's who he's looking at. Look at where he's looking.
Yeah, he's open now, and if you see, that's when he gets hit. As soon as he gets off.
That's what I'm trying to say. He was looking to launch it deep, and he got hit. He was trying to throw to him. Look, he's throwing and ratcheting it up to throw deep. The guy was wide open going deep. Nobody is talking about that. And then when he falls here, look when he gets hit. He's ratcheting it up. He's ready to go, and he's about to throw. And he has to bring it back in because the guy's coming. That's who he was going to. Obviously, yes, the other guy was wide open, but so was the streaking straight deep out. The go ball was there. So he's looking straight down. Look at where he's looking. And then he has to pull it down because he feels the guy. He was not looking there. That was the guy. That's the miss. That's the unfortunate miss because I believe if Wright isn't turned to the fucking end zone and he's actually blocking the guy, we have a deep, I don't know where they're at, but about a 60-yard touchdown. The safety is, I can't see who the second, I can't really see because it's green. I'm sorry. Y'all probably said it already.
Near the 40-yard line over here, right?
Right. Back it up. Back it up a second.
If you're counting from the top, Mooney is the second one from the top.
Right.
Yes.
So look at the safety that's turned all the way and following commit.
Right.
He's following commit. That is where Fields is looking at and trying to go to, because the other guy is totally out of position. And if he's able to throw it, that's a 60-yard bomb.
I think right there, he's looking at Mooney right there.
Because he's looking the cornerback off that's in that zone. Then he looks and look where he looks again. When he starts ratcheting the ball, he's looking straight down the field at the second receiver down, which I guess y'all say is Mooney.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. Like, I've looked at this over and over again.
Look at
That route was open.
read. Here he's looking. You're saying here he's looking at the first read. He's going to the sideline here to see if that's his first read. His second read is now Mooney. Boom. He sees him, and it's too late.
And he's trying to throw, and the guy's coming, so he realizes he's got to, like, he was about to launch that ball. I understand. Yes, the guy was open. It would have been nice to throw there first, but what he's seen was the open, and no one has said that. That I just realized that right now. That's why I'm so adamant about it, because I'm looking at it. He's looking down, and you can tell that Mooney is streaking. That safety will not be able to flip his fucking hips and catch back up. Y'all see the middle field safety, right?
If you look at it close enough, though.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's waiting for the safety to commit to either Mooney or commit. Once he then commits to commit, then he loads up to throw it, because boom, he's not even he haven't got to his back foot yet. So
right, and he's looking off that top corner. Sorry,
Wright is getting beat horribly. So he's not even back to his back foot yet. The moment he gets to his back foot is when he then sees that Mooney breaks open. Back foot right there. So he's on his back foot. Now,
right.
It's almost like this. The throw should have been right. His back foot's there.
But see, right there.
That's not who he's focused on throwing to, though, is what we're saying.
I know
you guys want him to go to out. You guys want him to go the out. But the right, if he was properly blocked and he was ready to ratchet up, you cannot keep it going until he gets to about the 45, to the second.
Now he's on his back foot right there.
He's gone. He's out of there. All he got to do is lay it up.
Now, if you look at it right there, he just now
and the defender is on him. He would have laid that bitch out.
Yeah, he just now hit his back foot. So now he already throw it to Mooney, because Mooney is just now breaking open. Up until
I guess what I'm saying here is, I know you're saying that the first progression was probably to the top receiver to the out, and he was looking there. And then, but if he's seeing the safety up at the 50 running to his left, that should have been enough for him to know that Mooney was going to be open there. And then, therefore, if you have a release that's like this, it can come out faster. Is all I'm saying. If you could just add his release.
Talking about that play. That play is that's not the same as the out. The out would have been a quicker throw, but he needed one more step. Like PJ was saying, he needed that one more step to get to the back foot for the Mooney. That's a difference. What you're saying, I agree with you. What you're saying, if he was going to throw to the top receiver, yes, he should have threw it then. But Mooney needed one more step. He had to clear the path of the cornerback, which was the 45. That was his last step, and he was getting ready to throw it to.
But
that's not a 3-step drop.
With that film, with that player that you keep showing, Shorty, he hops. As quick as he's throwing the ball out, his footwork he's hopping. So his footwork is actually bad, because as soon as on that video you're showing, he gets his back foot, he hops, then he throws it.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. It's so even right here, that out would have been open if he's thrown it to the sideline, because he has to throw the receiver open.
If we flip this, I am telling you, if we flip this, I'm telling you, if someone actually paid attention to this, because everybody's so dire about that out, and that would have been just the first down. Nobody gets hyper excited about first downs when there is a deep route missed. Most people look at the deep routes and be like, how the fuck did he miss that wide open guy streaking wide open? That's the play we want. That's the play he was looking for. And if he was able to hit that, not one person would be talking about the guy going up. And the reason why he wasn't able to hit the guy was because 95 was barreling down on him. He looked off the cornerback that went up towards the outgoing top wide receiver. The safety committed to Komet. He's trying to get it out, but the right fucking lost his fucking block. We would not be talking about this play if he was able to throw that ball. That is Wright's fault. That is not Fields' fault. Yes, he could have made the safe play to the guy, but this isn't a Fields was hesitant to throw. He was ratcheting up to throw it deep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
I think
in my personal opinion, I just think that if you had a quick release, this ball would have already been gone to one of those two guys. He would have thrown him open, either to the left sideline or to Mooney, because he would have seen the safety. He was turned going the other direction, and he would have known right here. Don't take that extra hop. Just get rid of the fucking ball.
When I say
the cornerback, right here, the cornerback easily could have caught up when he seen him throw it.
When I was saying
he's trying to look off the cornerback is what I'm trying to tell you.
I got
you. The video, the guy had an extra hop. As soon as Mooney gets his back foot, he's getting hit. In the video, you keep saying that you wish he had that type of release. If you look at that video, when that guy hits, when he hits his back foot, he's gonna hop. Watch.
5 straight, turn 6-7, reset.
He hopped.
Right.
See, he hopped.
Yeah.
Right.
Mooney did not hop. He hopped.
5 straight, turn 6-7.
You mean Justin did not happen?
Huh?
Justin
did not hop. As soon as Justin got to his back foot, he got hit.
Right.
He did hop though. Watch it in real time. Right there. He hopped right there.
So I
right,
gave
he took an extra hop.
Example.
Planted right there.
He planted and started throwing. What are you talking about? A hop? He planted there. He planted.
Right there.
That's what we're saying. He planted. He's planted. His foot is down. There's no
He's
hop.
still taking the steps, man. He's still taking the steps.
Listen, this is one play. But the issue starts to become when you start to consider that it's year 3 for him, and that there's more than just one example of this in the season opener. And so, listen, my personal opinion is there's plenty of blame to go around. Of course, play calling is one of them, but you can't sit there and pretend that there weren't some opportunities for Fields to make a play, and he didn't. Now, I also think at the same time, he's doing what he tried to do last year, and it's put the whole team on his shoulders. And that's a tough task to ask of any quarterback. But I don't know, Walt, if you have – I try to provide you another example of a view from the camera behind Fields of a play breaking out, and then JT Sullivan's opinion of that same view. And,
Okay, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, so if you could put it up there. Because I try to ask people, like, when you look at this, which route would you throw? And JT Sullivan was very, very critical of it. But when you look at it at a still shot, it's the only detail in that entire play, and there was Khalil Herbert was running flat, and then DJ Moore is out there and he's running like this up and out, and you could see that Packers corner right there kind of creeping up towards him. But the key detail in this entire play is that the safety that's right to the right of DJ Moore towards like the top up to the field, that his hips are turned completely to the right of the field, and he's the guy that's going to have to guard DJ Moore unless that corner is a really good player and decides to just anticipate the throw to the right instead of biting in on the flat with Khalil Herbert. And Fields just takes the safe throw and he dumps it off to Khalil Herbert. But JT Sullivan in his video about him went in on how he should anticipate DJ Moore being open in that spot. And I sent that second image to you, Walt. I don't know if you could bring that up. And it was a screenshot of JT Sullivan's video. And when you see it from the quarterback's perspective,
I have
though,
a question for you.
it's that one detail that really only matters. And the key part to all this is Fields is in year 3. At this point, you should be starting to recognize. PJ, what's your question?
Because that cornerback is looking back at Fields, if he throws the ball right there to more breaking out, and this is what JT Sullivan pointed out, he said Fields didn't throw it probably because he see that the cornerback's still looking at him.
It's called peak coverage. Called peeking coverage. It's to bait you. But go ahead.
I mean, so until the cornerback turns his head, by the time he turns his head and DJ Moore is then open, I wouldn't feel comfortable with him making that pass either. Because right now, if he goes to throw that in anticipation of him breaking out, the quarterback can see that and he can break off from covering Mooney or whoever he's covering and make the play on the ball. It's not until he turns his head that you should actually make that pass.
But the only reason I bring any of this up is because these are the minute details we have to go into to find faults for Fields. And at the end of the day, you have guys in this league like Peyton Manning who name me Peyton Manning's offensive coordinator. Now, I'm not trying to compare Fields to Peyton Manning, but at the same time, that is the high bar set for the capability of this position. You can overcome just about every offensive mistake as a quarterback. So obviously Fields needs growth. And in order to grow, you need help. And that help is not necessarily coming from coaching. I understand why a lot of people are blaming the coaching and the game plan, this and that, but there's just so much going wrong at a lot of different spots, at a lot of different positions. I mean,
are you just going to blow off what I said, though?
Pretty much.
Huh?
No, I'm not. PJ, you're right. In my opinion, the chance of most success in this play is the dump off to Herbert. Because you're right. At this point, when he's looking up and he's got a release, no matter if his release is a half a second faster than the next guy or this and that, he's got time right here. There's no pressure. He's got to make a choice. The best choice is the dump off to Herbert. Because if that guy can make a play, dodge a guy, dodge two guys, if he's got playmakers around him, and guess what? It could go out. It could. It's a completion. It's an easy completion. I always will take an easy completion. I mean, that's Tom Brady in a nutshell. He'll slice and dice you, right? Take 2 yards. Take 3 yards.
Okay.
It might become 20 yards, 30 yards. However, so I don't get that's why JT Sullivan's not necessarily completely right. I mean, he's got an opinion.
Only thing I'm saying is
sure there's anticipation missing there, or is it just being careful? But if it's being careful, this team's not skilled enough.
I'm saying one moment we criticize Fields for holding on the ball too long. Next moment we criticize him for not getting rid of it soon enough. It's like on this particular play,
the people that fucked up.
Because when I heard JT Sullivan talk about this play, this is the point I remember him making. He's like, because of that cornerback, you don't know where he's going. And number 47 here look like he's very geared around Braxton Jones. Make the safe pass. Be done with it. Now, yeah, in a perfect world, you do want to hit DJ on the out. But because the cornerback has not yet turned his head, he can actually break on the ball.
Do you trust
even the cornerback farthest to the left that's taking the outgoing wide receiver. If Fields throws it right now, he's playing peak coverage. So all he has to do is stop and come up. Fields would have to layer that ball over two defenders that's on 1 on 24, one that's behind the 1 on 24. And then try to find where the best spacing and the safest play is to Herbert, who has more room to run at that angle and going towards the first down stick. Like, we're faulting him, and people keep on saying he didn't get the ball out fast enough. These were the plays where he constantly made that day that got the ball out fast enough, but everybody's now mad because they go back and watch all 22 and they got access, and they're like, well, he didn't go to this guy. But when he does get it out fast, it's like PJ saying, when he does get it out fast, y'all like, well, he should have just waited for that guy, or he should have just anticipated what, an interception for y'all to be mad at when he throws it?
I would love for Walt to upload the second picture of JT Sullivan's take on it, because he critically claimed that this ball definitely should have gone to number 2, DJ Moore, and that this is the anticipation that Fields is missing, and this is that. And I completely disagree with it. Listen, that guy's way smarter than me. He's got way more experience than me. He's way more successful than me, but he's not 100% right. No, when you sit there and kind of look at it from different angles and stuff like that, 100%, I would throw it to Herbert right here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But
unless
he
the receiver on the left
should have gone to number 2.
If the receiver on the left was doing a curl route, then that would be the guy.
You talking about Mooney?
Yeah, is that Mooney on the left with the cornerback still looking on the inside? Yeah, yeah.
See what happened
on that second image?
On what happened on this play is Mooney is taking the guy. He's going to the end zone. That's where Mooney's headed, because Fields is looking at that cornerback that's on Mooney. That cornerback's looking back at him. It's not until probably the next step that cornerback then turns his head. That's when DJ Moore becomes open, and he has that out then. But by that time, by the time he does that, he already made up in his mind to throw it to what's his name?
Herbert.
What is it?
Herbert.
You talking about Herbert?
Yeah, he already made up in his mind to throw it to Herbert. So that's what I'm saying. He's reading that cornerback. That cornerback's looking back, and then till that cornerback turns his head, he just went ahead and threw it to Herbert.
And everybody's talking about trust his wide receivers. His receivers ain't gonna be able to stop that interception if they come out of that break looking for the ball. Because all that peeking cornerback has to do, if he throws it now, is step up, is what PJ is saying. So as of right now, if he throws it and lays it out there, that peeking cornerback can just step up, pick it off, and it's a pick 6. Because Moore has to turn to look at him, so he doesn't know that the peeking cornerback is coming back.
Hey, for the people in the chat, Leo, I'm not saying Mooney's open. I'm not saying Mooney's open at all. I'm saying the cornerback who's all over there with Mooney is guarding Mooney while still looking back. So I'm saying if as Mooney is taking him away, once he turns his head, you can then throw it to Moore, because that's when Moore pops open. But because he went ahead and got rid of it quickly.
Here's another situation here, guys. That's man coverage right there. Why not just take the shot and just try to drop it in the bread box to Mooney deep? What is this play? Is this just a picture?
Here's a picture.
It's just a still. It's a cherry pick still to show a narrative. The still images in this sense.
So yeah, Mooney has.
I've kept my mouth shut this whole time. Can I talk, please? Okay, thank you. So yes, you can make the assumption that he leads DJ Moore, and it could be a touchdown, it could be a complete pass. That cornerback could come up, step up, intercept, like Bill was saying. We don't know. So Fields made the decision to go to Herbert. In this case, it was a good play. He ended up getting 8 yards out of it, so it's a win-win at the end of the day. To go ahead and talk a hypothetical, we're not inside Fields' heads. I don't care who you are, if you're JT, whatever, or we don't know what he's thinking, what he's seeing. We're not inside his skull. So, I mean, if I'm looking at it here, they won the play. It wasn't a huge bomb, but who gives a shit? You got to move the ball. All last season was, Fields has to work on the fundamentals and make quick throws, short throws. He's making it right here, and you're complaining.
But so in that case, then the plays being called are being.
I'm not saying you, short. I'm just saying in general as a fan base that they're complaining at this throw.
Right.
And then just to piggyback off Walt, and I'll give it back to you, Walt. If he does that this time, then the next time they call that play, this is what coaches do and game plans do. After that play works that way, then the next time Fields can come back, fake hitch to Herbert because they think that's the play again, and then that sucks up the defense, and then he can hit the plays y'all want, either that deep out to Mooney or that crosser to Moore. Sometimes it's a setup game that we don't know what the setup is what I'm trying to explain to people. That's why I'm like, sometimes you got to really look and think of what the progressions are, what the coach is telling him to do, what number he's telling him to go to. And it's not all about backyard football and disrespecting the coach, because you think he should have thrown that and laid it out. He's going off of what the game plan is and what the coach wants. First, go to this layer because it's open. We trick him on the next one. We look at the film on the sideline. We'll try it again and flip the field and maybe do it on a reverse angle and go the other way with it. And then we'll suck that side of the defense up because they think they've seen it already. So that's all I'm saying.
Sorry.
No. I'm sorry. I cut you off. Go ahead.
No. What I mean is, like Raging Oracles, people are complaining that he was safe. I mean, it's good if he does it, and he's like, oh, he did it great, but now he didn't throw the deep ball, or if he threw the deep ball and missed, he didn't throw the short route. So people are going to complain to complain. It's just as it is.
I don't think we know what the down and distance is on this play, because
that's another thing too. The context is removed in this picture.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, again, because when I seen the play, JT talking about this play on this show, I'm watching it. I'm like, yeah, if he would have waited just a half a second longer, more would have been open. But because he got the guy right there in the flat, boom, he gave it to him. So I'm not complaining about him giving it to him. Yeah, in retrospect, I'm thinking now, like, yeah, we should throw more deep passes. But again, given this context where it is, I'm perfectly fine with him throwing the ball to Herbert at that time.
Yeah, because you're seeing that linebacker turning inside for whatever reason.
Right.
So it's clearly that could be one of those. That could be like the play in the preseason right there, for all you know.
Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, there isn't a downfield blocking, of course. So that's actually a very shitty statement to say, but it would have been at least 10 yards, 8 yards.
I said it at the start of this. If you're Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or maybe Aaron Rodgers or Drew Brees, the key here is that safety, that free safety with his hips turned towards the right side of the field while your wide receiver is cutting left. But that's at a level of detail that is way beyond this damn team. So when it comes to my frustration, it's going to be the obvious stuff. The defense sucks. Chase Claypool messes up.
All right. You're done for a second. What I wanted to say is this might be a cool segment to call this play pontification, and just take a screenshot like this and just pontificate what the play could be. Even though we've already watched the game, but we don't even know exactly what play this is, right?
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. I like the pontification of it, that we get to kind of just talk about what we think this should be. It is kind of fun.
Well, I mean, because I'm looking at the chat and I'm seeing what Cliff is saying is Fields has to realize a wide receiver will be open and let the ball go. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to tell Cliff, as well as everyone in the chat, is that cornerback is baiting him. The one that's guarding Mooney, he's baiting him. So if Fields make that throw to Moore right now, he's going to break off of Mooney and come make the interception. It wasn't until, like I said, another step or so, he then turns his head and runs with Mooney. That's when Moore becomes open. But by that time that happens, he has already thrown the ball to Herbert.
But
because you can't see it from this angle here with the cornerback coming in.
That's where the criticism.
I still ain't even asked y'all where's his helmet looking at. Y'all ain't even paid attention to that. But go ahead,
guys. We're not going to win this way
because I didn't hear what Walt said.
Lamar Jackson got
no one's trying to win.
No
one's trying to win. Y'all just not paying attention to the facts that we're stating. No one's trying to win, but y'all deflecting the actual facts that we're stating about the way the defense is playing and trying to actually bait that throw. So it's not about winning. It's about actually really paying attention to what PJ is saying about the bait technique. That is an actual bait technique that coaches, defensive coaches use where until
that's why the linebackers break it on the inside.
That's why he made the right choice and just dumped it off.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's not at this. He's not Peyton Manning here. Guys, he's not at this level. What they need to do is they need to cut the field in half.
I don't know. Well, I don't know either.
It's like saying he's not Joe Montana. No shit.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if he threw that and it was intercepted, we'll be back looking at this play right now and asking why did he throw that. I guarantee you. And we're trying to point out the fact, PJ is trying to point out the fact that I'm just talking about the chat because the chat's still going wild. They're not going to listen. I love the chat. I love everybody. I love Cliff. Me and Cliff have great conversation. And everybody, Leo too. But realistically,
what's up, Samo?
But defenses that defense is made to bait that throw. Yes, after you click and 2 seconds later, you see more running towards that soft zone. Yeah, he's open then way after he's already thrown the ball. But that's what PJ is pointing out. He went with the safer throw with more space. If you look on the left side of the field, you got all that space. And after Herbert catches the ball, all he has to do is make somebody miss. And then the blocking will come from the outside receiver to go up that side. The horizontal game plan was created, as Getty explained, was to attack the outer rim so you can go out quick and then use that space to go up the sideline. So they didn't want to make any mistakes over the middle of the field. So that's why the ball came out quick. So then they can take advantage of their fast running back that can make people miss and use that blocking to go upfield.
Vel, to your point, the pick six was made in the middle of the field. And I
That's
do agree with you.
That's apples and oranges.
The
That's
person
late.
that disagrees.
I get it. He made that mistake. That's late in the game. Stop talking about the bullshit that happened late in the fucking game.
Listen, man.
That's two
the
different
person
things.
that disagrees is J.T. Sullivan. The guy that my buddy's like, oh, look at this. This is completely right and this and that. I like that. And I said, no. Listen, in my opinion,
I believe it was a bad throw. I agree. It was a bad throw, but it's just a different. I'm sorry. It's just a different point of the game. It was a bad throw. He was trying to make something happen. He was trying to play hero ball. That's the only thing I'm saying. So all respect to you, Paulski. I'm just saying that was a different part of the game. That's him forcing the issue. We've seen it happen with Pat Mahomes. We've seen it happen with Peyton Manning and everybody. Every quarterback, like I do it every season. If you go back last season, I point out 50 interceptions per week and bad throws. I pointed out the Josh Allen. Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions, 2 deep balls, and 1 where the crosser route, he picked that crosser route and he threw it in between 2 people. And what time was it? At the end, towards the end of the game, where he was trying to make something happen. So even the elite of the elite do it. It's just Fields is younger, and he finally has this year, not last year. Everybody talk about 2 years. He's been in the league 2-3. This is year 3. He's had shitty situations year 1 and year 2, where now he can actually focus and have better on paper situation in year 2 of an offense.
Here's the summary of the whole fucking thing to put this to bed because it's going on 3.5 hours. Now I didn't even put out the last show onto audio stream because it was 6.5 fucking
awesome tape.
They still in the chat. They love it.
Here's the summary to this. Here's the summary to this. We are all just emotionally distraught because we just lost to the fucking Packers the first game of the season to a new regime quarterback who we think is going to suck, just like we thought Rodgers was going to suck when he took over. And there was some things that happened in that game that were very Rodgers-esque, like the ball bouncing right into his hand on that fucked up snap, and then he just flings it to a wide open guy, stuff like that. The first down play that I showed that was clearly a first fucking down, people in chat said Kmet had the first down as well from the side view.
Well, that's
let me finish. Hey, let me finish.
First drive was
Please,
shit.
don't interrupt me. Let me finish. Let me fucking finish.
Never.
I'm trying to wrap up the show, damn it. Get the fuck out of here. So it's a Packers week 1 loss to a new regime quarterback. We are all emotionally distraught by these Packer losses. Here comes another regime. We are all pumped thinking that we could win this game and what it would mean if we could. And we came out flat. It doesn't mean that Justin Fields sucks. It doesn't mean that this team sucks. It doesn't mean that their offensive and defensive coordinators need to be fired. It means that we are all overreactive fans because it is one game far more important than any other game because it was the Packers. If it was the fucking the Lions, we wouldn't feel this way. It's the fucking Packers that made this so personal for all of us as fans, and we're all sitting here trying to find reasons to say that, oh, our team. No, let's all bind together and realize it is truly one fucking game. And if we all just actually, instead of thinking negatively and trying to break all this down negatively, I've done it myself tonight, and we all come together and just try to be positive and realize, hey, if we're 0-8, we can sit here and bitch and whine and moan and complain all we want, but let the process happen. And until it becomes a disaster, I say we all just bear the fuck down. And I'm going to end the show on that, man, because I got to go to bed, guys.
Hey, I got a depressing story real quick. 30 seconds.
He's ready to wrap it, Halsky. We'll do it another day.
30 seconds. I'm at Deeks View before the game, and I literally paid for shirts that say Just Incredible Fields. Right. And this guy flew in from Philadelphia, met me before the game right in front of the stadium. I did a little thing with him where I asked him trivia on this and that, and I gave him a free Just Incredible Fields t-shirt. And after the game, I messaged him and I said, listen, Deeks View, I guess you could use that shirt as an oil rag or maybe a campfire starter, like set up sticks and then put the shirt in the middle.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, guys. You want to end the show on a 1, 2, 3 Bears?
Sure.
1, 2, 3 Bears.
Bears.